in. Let's hope we can stay connected this time. Fingers crossed. Let's make sure everything's working. Hello, Shari. We're back. It looks like the net, like my entire ISP just went down, which kind of sucks. We're just gonna kind of hope that doesn't happen again. And also, a lot of the other stuff is still kind of broken. We'll try and see if we can repair this stuff real quick. And then we'll get back to our yapping session as we do. See if we can fix this. Exceeded your ISP's yap gap? Apparently so. Apparently so. After a short... Okay. Oh, that's so annoying as well that happened. Everything was going so well. We were having a good yap, and then it's just like, bam! ISP comes in. It's like, no, how dare you stream? But what were we doing? I won 8 out of 12 in PBR, but some games were slow. Actually, 9, but the last was overtime. I see. Was this yesterday or was this today, Hikari? Because I did manage to watch some of your point battle yesterday, but I didn't get to see all of it. And obviously, I have no idea if you played today. I assume there was a point battle on today. Yeah, what were we talking about? We were talking specifically about speed? I mean, I guess we'll hop over here. Because we can actually move to, like, this. Today? Nice. Were you just playing Light Galaxy again? I've noticed that you've been on, like, the Light Galaxy binge. Started a bit late because of work. I see. It's one of those weird... Because, like, RDC is a thing, it kind of means you're probably better off focusing on just a single deck, right? Because it's one of those... Depending on availability, playing all of the decks is really important. But if you're always going to have the same 3 people always available, then just focusing on one deck is probably better. But I guess it's just an RDC thing, right? As well, if people aren't playing in RDC, then obviously they aren't going to give a crap about that anyway. They'll just play whatever they want. But there were some little bits and bobs that we to talk about, such as Card Trader got an update. Now, the Card Trader getting updated is interesting for a couple of different reasons. First off, we now have Infernal Queen, which is like whatever, right? The other one though is Karibo Triple, and this is a really bad thing that they've done. Now for the majority, this probably won't matter, but for some people, it's going to be really bad. I think I'll stick to Light Galaxy. I like the deck, and I also don't enjoy the new Dark Galaxy Fusion deck, but Zuijo husband. So my question for you, Hikari, then, is what don't you like about Dark Galaxy? Because, right, in total, I still think Dark Galaxy Fusion is, like, a cool deck. The issue it has is the way it's been implemented in Duel Links, right? And I don't necessarily mean, like, oh, its skill is bad, therefore it's bad, or, like, they didn't give us a specific card that we needed to make it good. What I mean is, they've made Light Galaxy's skill too good, and they've released spellcasters with a really good way to punish Dark Galaxy, and therefore it's left it really feeling bad by comparison, right? Like, I don't even think Dark Galaxy is in, like, a bad spot, like, in a vacuum. It's just, like, when you combine it with the other 2 decks, it feels like Dark Galaxy's in this really weird place where you just have to kind of high roll or not do very well. Hello, Quicks. Welcome. Well, I don't like the unpredictability, both when I play it and against it. Yeah, I mean, that's the big thing, right? Both the other decks have skills that create cards or search. Therefore, you get to, like, play it with a level of consistency that wasn't in the OCG, right? Because that's what I mean when I say, like, it's not that Dark Galaxy is inconsistent, it's that the other decks are too consistent. I think that's the problem, right? Like, they're both annoyingly consistent, that just makes any deck that isn't as consistent as them feel really, really bad. That's kind of how I look at it right now. And a good issue with that, again, is going to be like Karibo Triple, right? So this card is going to do nothing to the meta. Let's face it. Karibo Triple, this isn't going to see any play whatsoever. But what this has done is put another UR in rotation for the card trader, thus making it harder to get Leica, which is a card that potentially does have a meta impact. Which means if you don't already have all three of your Leica, it's now harder to get Leica, which is kind of annoying, right? When you lose the DG slot machine, it feels out of your control. I mean, yeah, but at the same time, it can feel the exact same way with Spellcaster and Light Galaxy. It's just less often, right? If Dark Galaxy high roll, they pop off unbelievably hard. But Light Galaxy and Spellcasters can just kill you out of nowhere. I would say Light Galaxy more than Spellcasters. Because Spellcasters can, but like we say, they need to rely on your opponent having a very specific board setup. Whereas Light Galaxy can just get a massive guy, pierce over you, and kill you anyway, right? I don't think Dark Galaxy is worse than the other two. If anything, it might be better, but still not my playstyle. I am too old to gamble. I think when, though, we're talking about a card game, you have to like rate a bunch of different factors, right? There's like ceiling, there's how consistent a deck is, there is like how easily you can build a board, for example, how easily you can recover, what's your grind game like. And I think if we take all of those metrics into account, Light Galaxy comes out with flying colors, and Dark Galaxy is like, probably has a higher ceiling than Light Galaxy, but is so far down on consistency that it ends up hurting it a lot and making it feel like it's not as good as the other decks. I think I like the OTK since I play 3 Leica and 3 Charge. I mean, there you go. There we go. It's one of those... So if we go and take a look at the tier list quick, since we're on this topic anyway. If we move the camera over... Not the camera, if we change this, that makes it look a little bit nicer. So if we look at the results, the taunt results, right? We've been seeing a whole lot of Galaxy in the winning column, right? With a little dash of Spellcasters. We've seen Light Galaxy get 7 wins, and Dark Galaxy get 3 wins. So, like, 2 of those wins were very recent wins, and those were basically since we had, like, the Ursus build come out, which is the no back row hate, no trap card build. I'm just going to keep calling it the Ursus build because, you know, my man Ursus needs the shout out, right? I think I like... we've already read that. But because of that, Dark Galaxy has now actually overtaken Spellcasters. So we go down and look at the pie chart because, you know, visual representation of the meta is always going to be easier having a nice visual aid. Light Galaxy currently at 49.6% of top 4 points. Dark Galaxy is now overtaken Spellcasters at 23.1, and then Spellcasters is down at 19.8. And Ninja with Dark Galaxy destroyed me top 8 yesterday and then bricked. Well, that's exactly... You though have just summarized this meta, right? Again, there are varying degrees of this, where like it's like Dark Galaxy has the most variance, then Light Galaxy, then Spellcasters, whilst at the same time, Spellcasters has the worst ceiling, Dark Galaxy is the best ceiling, and then of all 3 metrics, Light Galaxy is right there in the middle, where it's just consistent enough that it feels really good to play. The skill gives you a plus, which feels really, really nice. And the deck ceiling is still really high, which is still really, really good. So Light Galaxy is like, it's not the best at anything, but because of that, it ends up shining the most out of all of these decks. Like, it's so crazy how we're in a meta where going first and second, as well as the cards in your opening hand, literally almost always just decide the game, like on the spot. Now, that's not always going to be true, but like, if you just open the right hand and you get the coin flip, like generally going second is better. It's a weird one, right? Because going second is better if you have a really good hand. If you have a really bad hand, then going first can be better, but then you also need your opponent to have a bad hand. And it's this really weird, like, mind game of like, do I want first? Do I want second? If you go first, you don't die and you get to keep a bunch of resources, going first is fantastic. If you go first and you just die on turn 2, then going first was not the play, you know? Yeah, there are hands for going first and hands for going second. Yeah, but it's like, I feel like going first hands are just like, set 5 and hope you don't die. A lot of the time. It's a weird one, because your skills don't work turn 1. A lot of the time, like, your ideal, right, is to put just as many stats on the board as possible, but that's not always doable. Like, so for example, when I was playing in your tournament, Hikari, I had Galactica Oblivion, I think, in my hand both games when I was playing Chaos Galaxy, but I didn't have the bodies to, like, get it out. So, like, I needed to, like, do other plays. Otherwise, the turn was going to be either Galactica Oblivion in defense mode pass, or literally, like, one monster defense that isn't Galactica Oblivion, leave Galactica Oblivion in the hand for the next turn. So, like, it kind of sucks. I mean, going first, you either die to Cat, Chrysaor, or Meteor Charge, potentially, so I get it. Yeah, but again, if you go first and your opponent's hand isn't cracked, going first is probably still better. So, like, it becomes a gamble of going first is good if my opponent hasn't drawn cracked, but if my opponent has drawn cracked, going first is now worse. It's like a really weird... It's a really weird situation to be in, where there's, like I say, there's just so much RNG involved. There's so much just luck that is completely out of your control, and you just got to kind of deal with it. Which, you know, is what it is. It is what it is. It's not necessarily a terrible thing, but it's also not necessarily an ideal thing either. Like I said, I would still much rather be in this meta with these 3 decks. I personally think I actually, out of the 3 decks, I think I actually prefer playing Spellcasters the most. And the reason why is because the Spellcaster skill is just fun to play. The cards in general are just fun to play. Light Galaxy is cool. I do like I like all 3 of these decks, if I'm being completely honest. But Light Galaxy has a bunch of, like, normal monsters. And the fun part for me of Light Galaxy is, like, going into Plora, into Plasma, doing, like, Galactica Fuse Eve plays. It's, like, that kind of engine-y part where you're, like, using the smaller fusion monsters to do stuff. I think that's, like, the fun bit. Dark Galaxy, the fun bit is, like... I mean, I guess it's kind of the same. It's like going into Proto, going into Cry, getting back Prophet... Then going into, like, Theagonia, bring back Cry. I think that's, like, again, the fun part of the deck. It's like doing those little combos that aren't just, like, the ending of the combo. And then for Spellcasters, I think just the whole thing is fun. Like, having the cats is cool. Being able to go into Charmy, change battle positions, get piercing, I think is all just really, really fun. Is that Ursus, the man himself, in the chat? Welcome, welcome. Once I got 7,000 Eternal and Oblivion with Piercing, and I felt like a protagonist, next game I drew 5 spells. Exactly! Well, that's it! That's this meta! It's hope you draw really, really well, and hope you don't draw really, really bad. And it's never felt more prominent, I think, than this meta right now. Turn 2, I mean. Skill activations limiting your damage that turn could be a good nerf to give games a little breathing room. It's not easy, right? Because theoretically, as we go forward, the decks we get will have higher and higher damage ceilings, right? So we still don't have Power Bond, right? We're going to be getting, like, Cyber Dragons are going to get their extra cards at some point, which will make that deck a lot more consistent, especially in a 30-card format. There are... We don't have Seven's Gears yet. That's a deck that just makes, like, a 8,000 piercing double attacker. Like, it's so... It's so difficult to work out a fix. I vote for more life points. It's one of those things, though, because I was talking to Brad about this a while ago, but it's like... I don't think 8,000 is enough with 30-card decks and skills. Like, the decks, theoretically, the power level of decks in Duel Links should be so much higher than in OCG. Because we can get to those hard-to-summon cards so much easier, so much quicker. That, like, even we're seeing it now, right? Where, again, games are just over on turn 2 a lot of the time. Because of the skills, because of 30 cards. And because of 6,000 life points. I vote for Zuijo's skill to add a card to hand like Udius' skill. Now, I think I might know why you're suggesting that, Ursus, and I'm not sure that's the correct decision to make when it's already, like, the second best deck in the game. I just make skills, give life points, so you do X, like some of the speed skills. Again, it gets a bit weird though, right? Because it's like, how many life points do you need? It's a really difficult situation. Because the other thing is, let's say you bump the life points up to, let's say, 10k. But then I go second, and I get to do like an easy 6k damage to you because, you know, the decks do like 6k damage anyway. Then on your turn, you clear up my board, get some damage back on me, and then on the next turn, and obviously, you know, I've survived because I have 10k life points. And then I just hit you for another 6k on the follow-up, and it's just like, well, deal with it, I guess. Like, it's a really difficult balance to strike. That top 4 brick was so brutal. I mean, that's just the game, though, right? Like, I've been watching a decent amount of the Rushdoor Coliseum, and obviously I did play in Rushdoor Coliseum myself. And so many games in RDC, like if you watch the streams, feel like they came down to one player got a very good hand, and one player got a very mid hand, and then the game was over. And it's just like, could we get a bit more back and forth, right? Could we get a little bit more interaction going, right? Yeah, I don't think more life points is the answer. Yeah, I think that's my takeaway, totally. I think more life points is like a band-aid fix, as well as like nerfing skills. I think it's such a complicated issue that I think there isn't an easy, like, just do this and this fixes everything. I think it's like a systematic issue that is now like ingrained in the game. So like, it's really difficult. I think it's a really difficult problem to solve. You could have bricked against me, Ursus. So true. Yeah, I mean, it's like we say, it feels like a lot of games right now just come down to, did you brick? Yes. Okay, get screwed. Because like, I feel like right now, what tends to happen is, it's like, did you win the coin flip? Like, okay, and by winning, we'll say what went first, right? It's like, yes, okay. I'm gonna, like, do what I can to just make a board that's not gonna die, but, like, I don't have a lot of control over that, because I only have 5 cards to work with. Then it goes to your opponent, and it's like, please don't have the God Hand. And the thing is, the God Hand is so different for so many different decks. Like, for spellcasters, you're just like, please just don't have Strange Witch. If you don't have Strange Witch, I'm probably fine. But if you have Strange Witch, either I'm dead, or I'm taking a crap ton of damage. I don't really want either of those things. But if the spellcaster player doesn't open Strange Witch, then I don't give a shit what they do. I'm going to be fine either way, right? So going first was fantastic in that situation. The answer is more traps. Again, I think more traps again is like another. It's very easy to point at it and go like, well, this will have an effect, but will it like fix the issue? Probably not. Make Matarian great again. Ooh. I don't know what can be done about power creep, to be honest. It's not easy. It's really not easy. It's really not easy. Just stop releasing stupid skills. The thing is, I don't even think, like, I think the Dark Galaxy skill is fine. Right? That skill, to me, is how a skill should be. It doesn't plus you. It sets up some plays, but, like, not in a ridiculous way. And you basically play the skill as a replacement for trading. Now, you could make an argument that, like, oh, being able to send fusion and dark hole device is too much. But, like, that's kind of, like, the unfair part of it, I guess. Out of everything. Spellcasters always open Ghost Cyclone. I just don't know how they do it. Well, they play 3 copies. That's step 1. I just don't want to... I don't want to start against them anymore. Set against them anymore. Right. Yes, I got to the stage where when I was playing against spellcasters, I was just not setting back row. And that led to me, like, again, this was all like experimenting on ladder. This was like nothing like translated. But like when I was playing on ladder, I got to the point where I just started taking more and more spell traps out of my deck because the meta shifted in a way, because it was like, oh, everyone's going to have loads of back row. Okay, so now we're going to start putting back row hate and everything. And when there was like a week-ish where everyone was just playing 3 Ghost Cyclone, and that was in spellcasters, and even some Light Galaxy builds were playing loads of Ghost Cyclone. And so I just stopped playing back row, and then they would just get clogged with back row hate. And I'm just like, well, I haven't got any back rows, so your back row hate doesn't do anything. You've said all of the field, so now you can't do anything. So now I'm just chilling, right? And it's really weird how the meta can evolve in ways like that, where you go around in these like weird cycles and circles. Dark Galaxy shows that even a mid skill can be enough if the deck itself is absurd. Yes. But to be fair, saying that, Dark Galaxy is still nowhere near Light Galaxy in terms of performance, right? It's less than half, like when you think about it. So even though Dark Galaxy is crazy without effectively a quote-unquote good skill, it's still just nowhere near Light. Now, if you take away Light's ability to make that free card, does this like balance out? Do these decks become the same? Does Dark Galaxy overtake? That's something we might just never know, realistically. There's no real good way to test that outside of like go on Dueling Book, I guess. And then just like finagle it. That's what I mean about adding something like if you activate the skill this turn, damage dealt to your opponent is halved, so there is a trade-off. Again, I think though that because of the way power creep works, and because of how every card that comes out in the future should theoretically be more powerful than what came before it, you'd have to have that on like every single skill going forward. Except like some very niche cases where you're like, okay, this deck's kind of ass, so we could just let it not have that. Which makes it weird. And also there's going to be situations where like you can make a really good board, but then your opponent can't break it, and then next turn you just don't activate your skill and you just kill them with the board that you made last turn. But like that, you could argue that's fine, right? I played 3 copies of Oblivion 2, but in some games I never saw it. I saw Jorfio playing Ghost Cyclone in Light Galaxy. Stop that, man. I mean, Jorfio is very much his own... Like... Jorfio believes what Jorfio believes, and Jorfio will stick to his guns. He's very confident in his own ability. So I always like talking to Jorfio or playing against Jorfio because... Man doesn't conform to what everyone else is doing. Man plays the game his own way. And he will always, like, find a way to make it work. Which is, you know, I think that's respectable. I think it's likely to equal out of the Udia skills don't add a card. Potentially. I still think Dark Galaxy has a higher ceiling, though. So, like, there is a chance that it, like, dwarfs Light Galaxy. But then again, Light Galaxy still, like... Because I think people really underestimate how good, like, Galactica, Fuse Eve, and Extra Plasma are. Like, you don't even necessarily need Extra Plasma. Just Extra Plora is good enough on its own. And they do a lot for the deck. Secret Order Believer, but I agree with you. Yes, I think... Secret Order, to me, is the... It's more of... I'm going to throw caution to the wind. I'm going to increase the number of cards in my deck that win me the game, right? I am not trying to, like, survive. I'm not trying to control. My entire objective is increase the odds that when I draw for turn, I will have 5 cards that will allow me to kill my opponent. That's how I look at Secret Order, right? Because it's just like, it's an extra 3200 guy. That 3200 guy can translate into lots of different things, right? You can give it piercing with Meteor Charge. You can give it, because it's a normal monster, you can change a battle position. You can fuse it off as material to go into Eve, and then Eve brings it back as a 25, and you can keep doing stuff and go from there. You can turn it into Eternal Galactica Oblivion. Like, there's so much you can do with it. And I think that, like, that utility, that versatility, is what really makes Secret Order feel really good to me. Whereas, like, Ghost Cyclone is, like, it's really good sometimes. It can be fantastic. Ghost Cyclone can win you the game, but, like, how often is it gonna win you the game? Jorfio has gave up on card restoration. How the times have changed. Well, the meta changes, you have to adapt with it, right? You can't be stuck in your old ways. Rip Restoration. I mean, Restoration's still, like, a cool card. It's just, like... The game was slow enough, I feel, at a point where Restoration would make sense, but now we're dealing, like, 7,000, 8,000 damage in a single turn. It's just not worth it, I don't think. What decks and been playing in Speed? What do we... What... You have to break that down for me, Toti. Are you asking what decks I've been playing, or what decks have been seeing play? That is the ID. Yes, in 7s, Ghost Cyclone is very good. I mean, yeah, we definitely... I mean, the only tournament win we've seen on the 7s was playing Ghost Cyclone. So, I mean, that speaks for itself, right? Third place in PB was on Restoration. There we go. There we go. That's another interesting thing is I didn't watch the PB today, so I don't really know. What deck you've been playing? So I haven't played Speed since the Ancient Gearbox came out. The Exorcist Ancient Gearbox. So I haven't really been doing anything, but I want to play Dinos. I mean, shocker, I know, it's crazy. But when the WCQ comes out and like the tournament part of it starts, I want to grind up with Dinos. You think they're going to nerf the 3 decks after KC? It's hard. It's hard to know, really. I think part of the reason why Cyclone is good in Spellcaster is that it potentially live a lot since you can send a card from the field for skill. Yes. It's also because you can combine it with Talismanic Seal Ray, which we have seen a lot of Spellcaster players using. So you can clear your board relatively easily, and you can clear your graveyard relatively easily. And then just, it's live most of the time. We did see this in OCG as well, specifically with one of the Sea Serpent decks. So Sea Serpent midrange was a deck where you would constantly empty your graveyard. You would just like constantly like 5 cards from your graveyard, back in your deck. 5 cards from your graveyard, back in your deck. And so because of that, you'd always have less than 3 monsters in your graveyard, and you'd have ways to like clear your board. So it meant that Ghost Cyclone was live a lot more often. And that was one of the strengths as to why Voltalon was winning so many tournaments in OCG during that format. But do I think they're going to nerf the 3 decks after KC? I think that it is maybe a little bit too soon. Like, the decks are still new. I don't think there's a satisfying way to nerf all 3 of the decks that will keep them kind of around the same power level. I think what's more likely is they will release some new decks to try and keep up with these 3 strong decks. I wouldn't be surprised if there is a new product after, like, between the qualifier and the actual World Championship, which basically, like, fills in the gap to get you to 5 really strong decks. Top 5 of PB was on Light Galaxy. Well, all 5 of them, I assume you mean in Quantum. Because, I mean, that's not too surprising, really. Japanese players as well absolutely love Light Galaxy. Like, they have ever since it came out. I was 5th today. Giorfio beat me again. Oh, no. Where did Giorfio finish then? Was he 4th, 3rd? 2nd, 1st? Did Giorfio win the whole thing? Don't nerf them because I want Hikari to bring a Dark Galaxy to Worlds. But Hikari doesn't like Dark Galaxy. Doesn't gel with her. She's a Light Galaxy main. That's the issue. We need to buff Dark Galaxy, if anything, right? I'm trying to think, like, what could they even give Dark Galaxy? I mean, the obvious one is, like, Kairi. If I can even remember how it's called. I'll go and have a look quick. So it's... I think it's Voidvelg Kairi? This guy. This is the one that, like, we were expecting to come out, but hasn't come out yet. So this is send 1 face at level 7 or lower Galaxy-type monster from your field to the graveyard. So that's almost always going to be, like, itself or some other wimp you've got. Add a Requiem or Chrysaor from your graveyard to your hand. Then you can choose 1 face-up card on your field. If you do, it can't be destroyed by card effects. This is basically just a consistency tool, which... The main weakness with Dark Galaxy is a lack of consistency. So getting an extra consistency tool would be quite nice for the deck. Dark Galaxy all day. We need more 2-deck for World Championship. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel as well, Louise. I think it makes sense. Because right now, if we had to play in World Championship format, we all had 5 decks, and we had to bring 5 decks to a tournament. Realistically, you're like, alright, I got my Light Galaxy. Best deck, let's go. Okay, I've got my Spellcasters and my Dark Galaxy. The next best decks, you know, not as good as Light Galaxy, but they're still pretty good. They can take games off Light Galaxy. They're still good. And then you're like, what else am I bringing? No matter what you bring, no matter what you decide is the next best deck, they are so much further down than any of those 3 decks. Like, so much further down. Now, I'm a Canon Udius main because I want to kiss Zuijo. I mean, yes, gambling is bad, guys. I don't know, you were a massive Dark Galaxy fan before, and not much of a Light Galaxy fan before the fusions came out, you know? Bring 2 meme decks? So does everyone just bring 2 memes, and they're just like, right, guys, we'll agree, everyone play your meme decks last, right? We'll have our serious games first, leave your 2 meme decks to last, and we'll battle them at the end. Light Galaxy is fun. What do you mean? We have Santa. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Bring two meme. Yeah, bring two meme decks. That's the way to go. The question is, what would your meme decks of choice be? Like maybe like hero. Like some people have been saying, like Dragonic. There's obviously like Worms, Red Boot. My strat for Worlds would be take Worm and Hero, play them first into their good decks. If I win them, I'm ahead. If I lose, they've got to use their bad decks against my good. I mean, that's true in reverse, though, right? It's like if you just lose 2 games, then you've just got to really... At some point, then you're just going to have one game matter. And then it's basically... Because Light Galaxy has such a higher chance of winning, you've just got to really hope that your Light Galaxy deck is against whatever their non-meme deck is, I guess. Psychic. Also, looking at how the new Light Galaxy and Dark Galaxy skills work, I'm starting to think we don't get trade-in or ship for a while. That's kind of what I was thinking as well. I don't even know if it makes sense to bring them out full stop. You don't necessarily need them. Trade-in doesn't do anything other than just take up space and be a consistency tool, right? Shipper 7 Treasures does do stuff, but, like, do we want Ryozai? Like, do we want Beidai? Like, do we need those cards? Like, eventually we're going to need them, but, like, you could even give them a skill. Because, like, the biggest issue with Ryozai and Beidai and Shipper 7 Treasures is how generic they are. Oh, no, it's an ad. It's an ad! Okay, we'll probably wait for the ad to finish. We'll just enjoy the nice music while we wait. I mean, the ads got messed up because of the disconnect. So there's nothing we can really do about that, I'm afraid. But we'll just chill. We're just going to chill. We're just going to wait. Just going to vibe. We've only got a minute to wait. What music? Can you not hear the Claire Obscure music? It's not coming through! The music isn't coming through! This must have also broken when thingy happened. Alright, we can fix this. There we go. There's been music playing this whole time. I've just been enjoying it on my own. There we go. I wonder if that was true, because I had a Windows update as well before. I was wondering if that was because of the Windows update or because of the disconnect. I'll have to have a look later. I suppose it's not either that important. The ad's going to end in a second, then we can go back to our conversation. Everyone should be back. We could get Logisticos, maybe. Logisticos is very good. If we go and look at Logisticos real quick. Logisticos is reveal a level 7 or higher Galaxy set monster in your hand. So, you know, reveal a Chrysay or a Requiem. Set fusion from your graveyard. That's a 3+1. Then if your opponent has a face at level 7 or higher monster on their field, which will be most of the time, you can add a level 8 Galaxy set monster from your graveyard to your hand. Now, there's an obvious issue with this card, which is if you get the +2, you now have 2 bosses in hand, and you need to do something with those 2 bosses. But because of our skill, we can just send those bosses straight back to the graveyard and draw some new cards and mill some cards as well. So I've given up on coping for Noodles. I'm now coping for Animagica Leader. I don't think we're going to get... I mean, Leader on its own could come out. I don't think we're going to get much more beyond that. But Leader is a fantastic card. I think Leader is one of, like, the best cards in the game. I think no one can really doubt that at this point. We'll go and get it up so everyone can see it. There you go. This is Animagica Leader. She's one of the most powerful cards in the game. One of the strongest cards in the Animagica deck. Obviously, really nice art. Really nice effect. The effect gets a lot better when you actually get the rest of the Animagica support, but... what's the next character, in your opinion? So we have had a 7's ID, which means it's probably going to be a 7's character. Animagica and Duelix. We're just speculating, Terra. We're just speculating. There's no leaks or anything. Leader is good. You just don't understand. I like Leader. Don't look at me. I love Leader. Oh, the card has text. Yeah, you just like the image. Is that it? True, the strongest man shooter. So... card is very good, but you still need the profit. Yeah, you do still need to just find the profit. That's always going to be a thing, right? You think we're getting the ritual summoning in September? It's... Alright, so it's difficult. It is difficult. Realistically, we have speed ran fusions, right? They could easily have given us Go Rush fusions in September. The timeline would have worked out perfectly. They chose not to because they want the fusions for Worlds. Seems to be the feeling, right? So they are going to have to announce something at Worlds, right? For a September update. Now that something ideally has to be something big. It doesn't have to be, but it probably should be, right? For the last one we got was, what? It was Go Rush and Fusions, right? So 2 massive things coming to Rush Duel. The one before that was Rush Duels, which was again a massive update. So you would expect they'd want something big here as well to try and rival those. The issue is, what do you do? So ritual summoning, it does make sense from a, we need something big to show off, we want a new mechanic, blah, 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 blah. They could also just do, like, maximums, but, like, that's not got quite the same hype, right? Like, Go Rush maximums are cool, they're really fun, they're really strong. They don't have a ton of hype behind them in the same way that, like, Ritual would, right? Because it's not a brand new mechanic, it's a re-releasing of an old mechanic. So, I mean, before we got the latest box, and we got the leaks basically being like, we're getting Dark Galaxy Fusion, we're getting Light Galaxy Fusion, and we're getting these Spellcaster Fusions, I was like, you know, they'll do like they'll do Light and Dark Galaxy Fusion and the Lug as the September update. That just makes sense. But now that they've speedran it, like, they could do anything. Like, the next box they bring out, they could, if they wanted to, like, timeline-wise, just say screw it and drop, like, Vocalize Phoenix and the Abyss Kite guys, right? What are they called? What are they called? It's Abyss something. Abyssal Dragons. Yeah, the Abyssal Dragon Lords. They could get the Abyssal Sea. There's just Abyssal. It's just Abyssal in general. They could just give us, like, these maximums if they wanted. And, like, that, like, don't get me wrong. Like, by now, we should have, like, the Lug, right? We should have the normal Dragon Fusions. We should have had Rovian and the Wind Psychics. Like, there's a couple of stuff that we, like, skipped over. But because we're skipping over stuff, we're kind of at the point where they could just start dropping this stuff. Which is weird. It's really weird. It's really weird. Give me Disc Armor? Ooh, I don't know about that. Don't know about that. The only conversation I contribute to since this is the only deck I know. September Contact Fusion. Next year, March Ritual Summon. I mean, they could do. I don't know how likely that is. I'm not home Wednesday and Thursday. How can I do without Animagica? Oh no. Give me Disc Armor. How you doing? I had to go before I heard you... before I heard how you were doing. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thank you, Darth Victor. Hopefully you're doing okay as well. Contact Fusion, I'm calling it. The thing is, Contact Fusion means skipping so much stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. We have already skipped over some stuff to get to Go Rush Fusions. And we're still missing so much 7 stuff. But Contact Fusion means skipping... Like, Contact Fusion is skipping so much, bro. That's skipping... Well, I suppose it depends what they release between now and then, right? But right, so where we're at right now, 7s-wise, we're still missing, like, basically most of the Goha siblings. Like, we're missing, what, Utopia, we're missing the rest of the Wind stuff, we're missing the Reptiles, we're missing the Wind Warriors, which, again, they could just release Tiger and then give her a bunch of her Wind Psychic Fusion stuff, like, early. And that's why they're saving Tiger. Like, that could potentially be a thing. There's a few other, like, small bits and bobs from 7s we're still missing. Then from Go Rush, we would have to get, what, Vocalize Phoenix, the Abyss stuff. We'd have to get the Celeb Rose. We'd have to get the Secret Investigators, or Secret Agents, I think they're now called. Although Secret Investigators is a way better name, I'm just saying. Because it's gators and they're reptiles. Come on, it writes itself. Then, I mean, just everything else leading up to it. The Kawaii stuff, we'd have to get all of that with the Prime stuff. Like, there's so much. There's just so much. There's so much. Yeah, Space Dragons, exactly. The cyber stuff, the Space Drago. Who cares about Rovian? Give me Kawaii. Hello, Serena. I care about Rovian Mage. I don't really like Rovian's deck personally. Phaser is his name. It's Ryugu Brothers. Aren't the Darkness Fusion cards not max by timeline? Or am I wrong? So Darkness comes out. So the Darkness cards is a plot by Quaidel. So it goes like Phaser as the main antag, and then you get the Darkness stuff, and then that's during like the Quaidel arc. Phaser Bros sounds better. I agree with you, Hikari. I know I don't mean Little Brothers. Bros is like bros. I know my boy Tremolo is called. I mean, we don't have to get Tiger. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. We don't have to get Tiger at all. I want Tiger. I'm gonna keep batting for Tiger, but we don't have to get Tiger. I think the Contact Fusion arrive in February, like Maximums and Equipments. I mean, potentially. But again, there's a lot to get through before then. And like Contact Fusion, like it's not like super new, but it still feels fresh in OCG. So it feels like speed running to it, like really, really quick. I don't know. Duel Links slowly catching up to the Paper Rush card pool, or are they gaining cards at a similar pace? So in terms of actual number of cards, we are so far behind. In terms of the timeline, we are still so far behind. If they... I believe, I haven't checked this in a while, but I believe in terms of cards being added to OCG versus cards being added to Duel Links at like a, you know, card per year ratio, we're never going to catch up. But because we're skipping so many cards, we are catching up. Does that make sense? Like if they were releasing all of the cards that are in their OCG, but like at the cadence they're currently releasing them, we would never catch up to OCG. But because we're skipping so many things, we are slowly catching up. It's a really weird, like, situation we find ourselves in. Seller bros. In the next year, Tomato, honestly, outside of Tiger and her fusions, don't think any 7s characters come out whose deck would actually be able to compete. I like Rovian's deck, not gonna lie. So Tiger's deck only competes if it has the fusions, which, you know, it will probably have like the new fusions and they'll probably be okay, right, realistically, because Wind Warriors is just, in general, has been a relatively strong archetype, especially because they have like that fusion, Miracle Fusion spell card. But without the fusion, the Miracle Fusion spell card, I don't know if it's going to be as strong because a lot of their fusion material monsters are a bit crap. Then I think Caliglion could be pretty good. Like, if they just gave us Yuga Odo, not Yuga Odo, Yuga Goha, then, like, there's a chance Caliglion Turbo with a good skill could just be really good. I'd rather have Luke's great-grandfather, yes, his great-grandfather, rather than Tiger. No, Tiger's great, Tiger's great. If they do Rituals in September, it would make sense because they could release Dark Magician Structure Deck to nostalgia bait the newer players. The issue with that becomes Rituals are actually really good. Like, it's arguably the second best deck in the game currently, I believe, tournament results-wise. So it's not easy to just release Rituals and just be like, oh, we just won't give them some of their support because all of their support is really good. Which makes it really, like what's the bad Ritual support? It's like Karibo, like Dark Guiding Karibo is like the quote-unquote bad Ritual support. The rest of it is fantastic. So, like, it's really difficult to give us nerfed Rituals. They could bait player with Harpies, which is Contact Fusion. I mean, as having a Harpy Lady structure come out along with Contact Fusion just makes sense to me, right? It just makes sense. I think they're trying to get Duel Links Rush up to date as possible because it's the only way to play Rush outside of JP. I don't know if they give a shit about that, to be honest. I kind of feel like Duel Links has always been, we care about Japan. Japan is what matters. The rest of the world should feel privileged to even play the game. That's kind of how it's always felt from Konami, where they're never catering to anyone outside of Japan. It's always just Japan, Japan, Japan. So I don't know if I subscribe to the idea that they are trying to increase the release cadence to catch us up for our benefit. I'm doing meh. I'm a bit sick, but I'm okay otherwise. Oh, hopefully you get better soon, Victor. Hopefully you get better soon. They could just release a Rush game. That's crazy talk, Hikari. Someone burn the witch! Burn the witch! The only logical decision. No, you don't understand. They need to make another Switch game at some point, and then that will be our new competitive. Just like Dear Days and Dear Days 2, because that they can charge you full price once every couple of years if they want to. Got it. So, on top of rituals, they also get a broken skill to boot. I mean, probably. I mean, if they cared about that, they'd release the game outside the East. I think the only reason not to release Rush outside of, what is it, Japan, China, Korea, is quite literally because they don't think it will make money. They don't think it will have a good return on investment. They think if we print these cards, we've got to go through like the printers, we've got to get this to retailers, and then if people just don't buy this game, it was a waste of money and a waste of time. And if they don't see it as like having a guaranteed return on investment, there's just no reason to do so. And unfortunately, we just live in a world where that's probably the case. There's a lot of people that play Yu-Gi-Oh! That look at Rush and go, I don't want that shit because I play the grown-up, mature version of the game. Why would I want to play the game for babies? And that's genuinely what people think. They look at the game, they go, that looks awful. Because like that's where you get like the weird disconnect. The people that play TCG generally look at it and go, I don't want that because my game is better, my game is superior. Why would I want the dumbed-down version? And people outside of Yu-Gi-Oh! Don't really know what Rush is even, because they're like, oh, yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh's that really complicated game that I have no interest in. So, it's an issue where the people who play Yu-Gi-Oh! A large majority of them don't care about Rush, and people that don't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Don't know what Rush is. So, like, we find ourselves in a really weird spot where we're actually super niche. Which, like, it sucks, because I love this game, y'all love this game. Now, speaking of that, did you see the Japanese players get gems for answering the surveys of Master Duel? I mean, we occasionally get gems for answering them on Duel Links, but, like, very rarely. Very rarely. But, yeah, it sucks that that's the case, right? I mean, ideally, everyone be treated equally. People hate her because she spoke the truth. They have 2 games already. Just go play those. Not as expensive as Dear Days, right? Dear Days really annoyed me. Also, hello, Hidden Bankai, by the way. But, like, Dear Days, I was really excited to play Dear Days. Like, I really like Cardfight Vanguard. I really like card game RPGs. I really like, the visual novel style of that sort of game. I really like the idea of being able to play it online and have it be its own meta, and it's, like, just kind of an outdated version of, like, the physical game. And then the game came out, and I looked at the price tag, and I went, just that, like, obviously I can afford it. You know, it's not like a massive expenditure to play it. But out of principle, I'm like, why would I buy this? You're taking the piss with the price of this game. Like, it's actually ridiculous. And then it's just never gone on sale. Because, I don't know, the people working at Bushiroad are just so silly. I don't know. People could never handle the truth. You can't be serious, right? Those games are omega bad. I like the Switch games, if I'm honest. I really do like the Switch games. It's the same basic non-Tugfast game, so you just get 90% of Yu-Gi-Oh games are bad. I really like a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh games. The issue is a Yu-Gi-Oh video game, as in like a single player or a game that has multiplayer access or whatever, is a great experience to pick up, play, maybe mess about in the online for a bit, and then put down. It is not a replacement for a Yu-Gi-Oh simulator. It is just not. It is not a good replacement for Master Duel. It is not a good replacement for like EDO. It is not a good replacement for Duel Links. It is its own thing. I want to play Yu-Gi-Oh and not a single player game. But again, I think there's nothing wrong with a single player game. I love a Yu-Gi-Oh single player game. I think they're great. I love the RPG elements. But again, like we say, they're not a replacement for a simulator. Just not. It just isn't. Just is not. Play is being used very loosely for the context of a real Yu-Gi-Oh. I mean, like, people that play TCG actively and really enjoy it, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just some of us don't like that sort of experience. That's fine, right? And my friend who plays TCG once in a while didn't even know what Rush was before I showed it to him. Exactly. Because why would they? Like, Rush isn't really advertised anywhere. One of the people certainly plays the game. Rush is for the people Yu-Gi-Oh was originally made for. They've had to reboot because Yu-Gi-Oh is too Too much for kids now, both in complexity and cost. I'm not sure I understand what you mean, Promanarchist. Are you saying that the overly complicated game of Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG we currently have is for kids? Because it's kind of the opposite way around, but maybe I'm misunderstanding. Hey, by the way, I wasted my money on Shadowverse Switch game, and it was worse than playing the actual dying Shadowverse digital game. Yeah, I mean, Shadowverse 2 comes out soon. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to play it. Hopefully it's fun. Paid DLC to keep up also sucks. Yes, it is awful. It's so bad. If I'm paying, like, basically the price of, like, a modern Nintendo Switch 2 game, effectively, because that's what they charge for it. They also expect me to keep buying DLC as well, is insane. That's insane to me. Like, it's so much money that I might as well just buy the physical cards and play the physical game. I swear some people in this community only think about themselves and having fun instead of year-on-year returns for stakeholders. Makes me... I think... Alright, I get what you're saying, Shari. I don't think it's fair to judge people... Because they're consumers, right? Consumers exist to consume, right? For the most part, the individual shouldn't have to care about how much money a company makes. They care about, am I having fun? Am I having a good time? And I think that's a fair opinion to have, right? Like, you shouldn't necessarily be worried about things that are outside of your control or outside the scope of your interests, right? But I do understand what you're saying. A lot of people just don't consider return on investment, and realistically, it's a business, right? As much as we like the game because it's a game, the game is fun, the community's great, we really like having it, we all enjoy having a really good time. I still think fundamentally, it is a business, right? It is a business decision to release this game. This game only exists because it makes someone money, like fundamentally, right? I used to have Yu-Gi-Oh! 2011 tournaments back in the day. Yeah, I mean, that's probably a great time. Probably an absolutely great time. Especially when we were in an age where the internet wasn't as prevalent. And it did mean that, like, playing the physical games, especially like a link cable or like playing a wireless on like DS and stuff was really, really fun. Doesn't the Rush video game require you to beat the entire thing before you can edit your deck? It does, if you don't use, like, a code. There's, like, a thing you can do to just immediately be able to edit your deck, basically. So, as long as you know that, you're good to go. Do it in games, you didn't have to... Yeah, exactly what Victor said. No, he means the opposite. The kids can't play TCG anymore for the cost and complexity, I think. Yeah, I mean, that was my takeaway. But it felt like the way he worded it was the other way around. I can see Manicus to type something. We'll get there in a sec. Vanguard also doesn't have a real automatic sim either. Yes, it does have, like, a couple of, like, unofficial ones that are really cool. Like, EDO sort of thing. I haven't tried... I played Vanguard Cardfight Area, which is, like, fully manual. But I haven't tried the newer one, which I think came out, like, several months ago. But apparently I've heard it's pretty good. Go through the Konami code, specific location or something. I would really count that for their credit. I mean, yeah, it depends how you look at it, right? I don't look at Dear Days 2 DLC prices. Again, if if Dear Days had a spectator, so we could actually do community tournaments, I would genuinely buy it, even though I think it's ridiculous, because I think the fun factor of playing in tournaments would make up for it, right? But it doesn't, so it doesn't matter. You did, but it's part of the game. It's like saying in-game cheats on the Switch ports aren't part of the game. I mean, the difference is that one is like a secret, so the average player that plays your game isn't going to know about it. So I think there is validity in that argument. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is for kids. As the kids have grown up, their game has too, and now they're adults playing the modern Yu-Gi-Oh! They've grown up with to keep up with everything. Kids can't get into it now because where do you start is too much and expensive. Konami saw this, hence they started again with Rush. Eventually, it will be the same scenario with Rush 2. Yes, I agree. I completely agree. I agree with Manicus there. I don't really think I have anything to add to that. I think that's quite concise. You've kind of hit the nail on the head. I think that it's weird to me, personally, when I hear about people that are like, oh yeah, I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! In TOS format. And I'm like, bro, you started playing like when links were already out? I'm like, how did you get into the game? Like, how did you do that? I wouldn't even know where to begin at that point. Like, I started Yu-Gi-Oh when it came out. Right? I got the Yu-Gi structure deck, or no, I think I got the Kaiba structure deck when I was a kid. And my brother got the Yu-Gi structure deck. And, like, that was my introduction with, like, the original show. And I absolutely loved it, right? So I'm kind of, like, nostalgic in at this point. Community is great. Said for no game ever. Don't get me wrong, communities always have their bad eggs. Sometimes there's, like, you know, some communities are better than others, but for the most part, I think for everyone's pretty chill. I'm on break at work, so I can yap more. Nice, nice. Hope work's going alright for you, Manicus. I gotta go again. See you, Victor. You can see people typing in chat. What is this cheat code? Which Vanguard sim are you talking about, Tomato? It was... I'm trying to... Vang Pro. What fodder said? Vang Pro. Let me Google it quick on my other monitor. This looks right. Right, if I go grab this. This is the one I've heard about. I haven't played it. I mean, I just want to, like, see this, I guess. Mute that. Let's just take a quick look at how this looks. So this looks very card fight area, like the whole deck building aspect of it. I don't know how, like, automatic this is. But, like, again, it's still a jank simulator, right? It's not going to be perfect. But it gets you play the game, and that's fundamentally what you want, right? Yes, I do tournaments for Dear Days and Pokemon Pocket, but the company just doesn't want to help out the community. Vang Pro, I guess. But thank you for that, by the way, Fodder Cannon. I wonder if Rush players are going to call the next reboot a stupid baby game when that eventually comes out. I mean, probably, you know, in 20 years. The other weird thing is, because Mono did mention about Pokemon Pocket. Pokemon Pocket is so insane, right? Pokemon Pocket, I saw a video posted by Icy. Let me see if I can find it quick. I'm going to find it. So, by the way, huge shout out to Icy. He's not here right now, but I'm going to do the exclamation mark Icy anyway, because Icy is a bro. Everyone should give Icy a follow. He's a fantastic speed player. But Icy has a Pokemon channel where he uploads, you know, Pokemon Pocket content. And I just saw this thumbnail, right? The second one in. First place deck. 2,800 participants. And I'm like, 2,800 people in a tournament? What the hell? Like, I look at our big tournaments, and even like the big speed tournaments, we're talking like, what, 200? Like maybe you push it to like a 500 person tournament for a big speed Yu-Gi-Oh tournament. Realistically, for Rush, if we hit like 60, something amazing's happened, right? But 2,800 is so ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous. Rush community is far more chill than Yu-Gi-Oh players. No, they are smarter. Deja vu. I've been in this stream before. Hello again, Zaki boys. For now, the chance of mats, though, also sub. Hello, Kuro-sama. Welcome to Choice of Mats. I miss Vanguard Zero. Vanguard Zero is amazing, bro. I would happily just gush about Vanguard Zero for so long. Like, I love that game so much. It's a shame it died, but it is what it is. They're smarter for sure. I realized most of the non-Rush player complain about math. I mean, math is hard. Math is hard. Over 2 days too. Top 128 was Sunday. Exactly. It's insane. It's actually insane. If you add every Angel Cup together, do you even get 2,800 entrants? No, you do not. You do not even get close. Pokemon has prize money, doesn't it, lol? I mean, you get prize money for, like, community tournaments over here, right? Just not for non-community tournaments. That's, like, the big thing, I guess. But, like, it's so crazy. I mean, this primarily is the Pokemon brand. I don't know anyone here, or I don't know how many people in chat play Pokemon Pocket, or how many people play Pokemon TCG, or how many people play the Pokemon games, but, like, Pokemon is such a massive franchise, right? It's like the biggest franchise in the world. My thing is, I like the Pokemon TCG. I don't dislike it. But I don't like it enough to make it my main game. Like, if my phone, because this is the only reason I'm not playing Pokemon Pocket is because my phone won't play it. But if my phone could play it, I would probably be playing Pokemon Pocket even now. But I would never have it replace Duel Links as my main game. It just wouldn't happen. Because as much as I like it and I think the game's fun, it's just not as engaging for me as, like, the Yu-Gi-Oh! IP and the Yu-Gi-Oh! Gameplay. I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just more fun for me. It's funny how the anti-meta deck won too. I mean, that's kind of makes sense, right? It does kind of make sense. Pocket is very good game diversity-wise, just the gameplay is a little bit too limiting and luck-based. Well, there you go, there you go. I mean, to be fair, I think a lot of people say the same thing about Rush, to be fair. So, like, you know. I can't even conceive of 2,800 people in one place. This has to be a human rights violation. Well, I assume it was an online tournament, right? Also, it is criminal, by the way, that this video only has 162 views. Look at that thumbnail. That thumbnail is peak. It's got 2,800 people in it. Come on. We're gonna jump into this. I'm gonna give it a like on the other account. I'm gonna leave that running. I think that deserves an extra view. But it is so crazy, and that's the thing. When we talk about is it worth it to release Rush outside of the East, you know Konami have got to be looking at like Pokemon Pocket numbers and being like, wow, 2,800. That's kind of insane. Imagine how much money Pokemon Pocket makes, right? It must make ridiculous amounts of money. And they don't have to, like, cheat that out of people. Like, for the most part. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know some people who play Pokemon Pocket and play it very competitively. And they do have their issues with it. Oh, here comes another ad break. That's annoying. We will wait. We will wait for it. We will wait for the ads to leave before we continue the conversation. It's only fair. Luck is not that bad. Even poker has a luck factor in it. I think, though, in an ideal, you have luck be the smallest factor possible, right? You're never going to avoid luck. That's just... It's never going to be a thing. And luck is a good thing. But you want luck to make up, like, 20% of the game and not 90% of the game. And I think that's where sometimes metas fall short. Alright, we've got another 40 seconds. You know what? We're going to take this opportunity to hydrate. And we've got the lovely music as well. Alright, we've got about 20 seconds before ads are finished. And then we'll get back onto the app. We'll get back onto the app. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's funny. Yeah, they managed to make money even from the app without about sleeping. It's just on another level as a brand. Yeah, it's insane. It's actually insane. You're caught up on Vanguard, right? Which is your favorite fated one? Which one's the fated ones? Is fated ones the first lot or the second lot? Because there was like destined ones and fated ones. I'm going to Google this so I don't get this wrong. Oh, the fated ones were the original ones? Alright, so if we're talking about, like, aesthetics, for me, it's probably Welstra. I really like Welstra. And I suppose just so everyone knows what I'm talking about, we'll just... Was it? This is the fated one? This guy. I think this, I just love... I love Brandgate. I love the whole, like, order mechanic. I love as well playing a deck that's, like, a bit more interesting, I guess. Shame he's very bad. Yeah, it is a shame. It is a shame. But I still really like Welstra. But in terms of, like... Right, so my second favourite is a little bit less based, right? But I do think Varga looks awesome. I guess I could just search Varga, right? Like, Varga is so cool, man. Like, can we get a bigger image of this? Like, Varga is, for anyone that doesn't know, Varga is basically like a samurai dragon. And he is so cool. Like, actually insane. At the very least, they'd make their investment on Rush in the West back with ORREMG. I mean, yeah, most likely, most likely. I still wish Rush to be released in TCG instead of being OCG exclusive. Ads don't affect me. Yeah, it's one of those things. I would love it, right? I personally would love to see it. I just don't think it's likely. I also think it's too late. Like, the headache of releasing Rush outside of the East now is so... It's so convoluted, right? First off, you'd have to have it... You'd have to print all the cards in all these different languages. Then you'd have to work out a release schedule for all those cards. Because if you dropped absolutely everything all at once, people would probably not really like that, especially collectors. They're now like, oh, well, you expect me to spend this much, like, so quickly. So you then have this, like, release cadence that's really weird. You'd have to have two separate worlds because there'd be two separate formats. They'd probably want to catch up to the rest of the Rush game as soon as possible, so they could get, like, you know, like, worlds and release schedules and everything all on the same page, which means you'd, like, spam Rush through it. I don't know, it'd be really weird. So, I don't know. It's a weird one. It's a weird one. It's definitely a weird one. But overall, I would love it. I would love to see it. I just don't think it's necessarily likely to happen. I just don't. I just don't. Which is a shame. It's a big shame. So I'd love it. I'd love it so much. But. The other thing I did want to talk about briefly, we'll just touch on, is we did have a tier list update. Now, again, I don't have much to say about the speed meta because I haven't been playing it. But we will be playing it next week. So we did want to catch up on it a little bit, right? I still have my hopes for releasing it over TCG. Would really like playing it physically. Unfortunately, I just don't think it's likely. I would love for it to happen. I just don't think it is likely to happen. So, but yeah, Shadow Floodgates are back in season with Reign of Shadow. Shadow's primary weakness, its consistency, has been completely remedied by its skill, milling 3 copies of Resh Shadow Incarnation for free and searching a Shadow card to hand. It even summons a monster from deck, going second to help break boards. In addition to the new skill, Shadow received 2 new cards. App Cologne negates anything on the field and searches Shadow cards when sent to the graveyard. And Nail Shadow Aerial, which summons Shadows from banishment, allowing you to reuse Construct or get another level 4 body for an Abyss Dweller. I mean, Floodgate Turbo be floodgating. And obviously that does mean that Resonators has dropped out of tier 1 over Crystal Beast. Crystal Beast is still a weird one to me. Crystal Beast seems to, like, not really have any improvement, but just seems to, like, pop up every now and then. But I guess it's because everything else got nerfed. But Resonate is going down. I think everyone's quite happy about that. Predaplant going down as well. And then Utopia being put into tier 3 is also interesting. I want to check this out, though. Let's see what Paris is saying, right? The addition of Utopia gives Ancient Gear a practically unplayable matchup between 3 monster effects negate, Eagle Claw negating Ancient Gear Duel, Numbers Protection, and a ranked 4 Abyss Dweller to stop Gear Town and Ancient Gear Catapult. The Ancient Gear just can't go second into Utopia. The turn 1 isn't good either, as the end board pieces in Dweller and Sanafond don't do anything. So the only real Earthbound piece, or end board piece, I don't know where we're getting Earthbound from, is IP Masquerena. Oh, I mean, that doesn't feel good. So overall, again, my impression is that most people aren't super happy with, like, Utopia and with the Shadow deck. And I've kind of seen that echoed throughout this chat, so there's that. I don't know how to feel about it, because I haven't really played against any of the new stuff, right? Like, we haven't played against Ancient Gear, we haven't played against Utopia, we haven't played against Shadow with, like, the dinos, so it'll come down to, like, how it feels to play against it with the dino when I actually do start playing, but... And then off the tier list, Heroes, Lyrilusk, and Salad. Salad's being off the tier list already feels really weird. Like, these two have been hanging on I feel like Salads, like, it wasn't that long ago that this was the best deck in the game, and now it's just suddenly off the list, which seems really weird. I thought everyone and their mother adores Shadow and babies it. I think some people really like it, right? Norrentino says in comments that Shadow might rise to tier 0. Ooh. That's a little bit spooky. That's a little bit spooky. I like the new decks, especially with Shadow. It feels good to have a deck that actually takes brain cells for once. See, that's an interesting take, Serena, because everyone else that's been in chat has basically been saying the opposite. That they're like, Shadow is glue, and it's like super easy to play. I think you're the first person that's come in and said that it's requires brain cells to play. Which is interesting to me. It's just interesting. I'm not saying anyone's like wrong, or I'm not sticking up for one side or the other, but what I am saying is it's interesting that there is opposing opinions on the matter. Shadows are glue. Well, there we go. There's exactly a contradicting opinion. We hecking love Floodgate. Shadows is not glue. Oh boy. Oh boy. I mean, it's one of those things for me where I think that any deck that ends on Floodgates is always going to be in my bad books. I'm not necessarily going to say the deck's easy to play or it's more complicated to play. But I will just say any deck that just ends on Floodgates, I'm not a big fan of. And that extends to my own deck, right? If I'm playing like Dweller, although Dweller is like Floodgate adjacent, because it's like it's a lingering Floodgate, which is worse than a Floodgate, but it's also temporary, so it's not like a permanent Floodgate. Like, Dweller still sucks. No one likes playing against Dweller. Like, if you're playing a deck that just loses to Dweller, guess what? Getting Dweller sucks. No one likes that. So I'm not immune to this, because I do play Dweller in most decks I play. Like, Dinosaurs are playing Dweller, and my... Fluffles are playing... I was trying to think for a second there if I was playing Dweller in Dragon Maids, but I'm pretty sure I'm not playing it in Dragon Maids. I also don't think I played it in Dragonic either. Should always limit you to one brain cell per turn. That does sound like a Floodgate effect. Duel Links players are just obsessed with calling everything glue. I mean, so for me, glue is a deck that is extraordinarily easy to play. You don't really have to think about lines. You don't really have to think about the matchup. You just kind of click your buttons and always do the same thing and hope it's just kind of fine. Like, the less skill it takes to play is the more glue it is, I guess. That's kind of how I look at it, but that's my interpretation. Did I miss the memeing of Dragonic? No, we haven't even started Dragonic yet, Shui. There's been a lot of chat, and we did also disconnect for a while, so we had to reconnect to that. The skill doesn't set up you so easily. The skill sets up your plays, but it does not play the entire deck for you. If it did play the entire deck for you, that's when I call you glue. Temporary, when the opponent gets exactly one turn before they die. I mean, yeah. Like I say, I'm not defending Abyss Dweller, but I will use it if my deck needs it. That's how I look at it, right? Again, I'm not defending it. Abyss Dweller still kind of sucks. It's not glue like Predap wasn't, but still a problem deck. I say I didn't mind Predaplants. I enjoyed playing against it, but maybe that's again because I just played Dinosaurs. I was always going to have the viewpoint of someone who plays a very specific way. So if your deck didn't like hard counter my specific deck, I was kind of okay with it. That's how I looked at it. It's a big brain deck, or are you used to glue skills that you actually have to think to play the deck once? I still hate dealing with Winder though. Besides, Winder Shadow isn't as bad as many say to play against. Is a deck being easy to play a bad thing? No, it is in no way a bad thing. What I would say though is that some players will look down on a deck that is extraordinarily good and easy to play. I think if you have like a good tier 2 deck that's easy to play, that's fine, right? That is completely fine because it's like you don't... Generally, if a deck is more complicated, you want to feel rewarded for playing a complicated deck, right? So if the easiest deck in the game is also the strongest deck in the game by a mile, that feels really bad. Because suddenly it's like, well, what's the point in playing something fun or playing something more challenging when I get rewarded with nothing? In fact, I get punished. I get punished for playing the more difficult deck. Now, that always just feels so bad, right? It feels so bad. Dragonic Contact Heroes are an example. I mean, yeah, Dragonic Contact Heroes, I personally I always looked at it as, if you're playing Dragonic Contact Heroes, and you're playing it because you invested into it, you don't have a lot of gems, you're a free-to-play player, that's fine, right? It's fine. Do whatever you need to, bro. You haven't got the money to play all the time, you haven't got all the time to play all the time, so you're playing what you can when you can. If you had every single card in the game, and you still chose to play Dragonic Heroes, I'm like, bruh. Bruh. What we doing here? What we doing here? Come on, man. Like, you've actively chosen Floodgates. Like, you've done this. You chose the easy to play deck. You chose the Floodgates. You chose Super Poly. Utopia is the glue. There we go. Glutopia. It rolls off the tongue. It does just roll off the tongue. Should all mirrors, I get punished for going second. There you go. Looking down on people is a Yu-Gi-Oh thing. TCG players look down on speed players. Speed players look down on rush players. Not 100% of the time, most of the time. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. A lot of people that play card games do like to use the card game as a way to, like, validate themselves. Which, like, isn't inherently a bad thing, but can lead to some awkward social dynamics. Feels like Shira mirrors all over again. I mean, yeah. I don't myself just look down on people who don't let other people enjoy their pet decks, or a strategy that prevents interactive duels. I think the issue is that the game isn't a single player game, right? If I sit down and my opponent is playing a deck that I despise, right? It's like, it's a deck designed to suck the fun out of the game. I think I'm allowed to not be happy with that situation. I'm allowed to dislike that deck, and I am allowed to dislike my opponent for playing that deck. I think that that's a very human response, right? Now, you could get into the whole, like, social dynamic and social ethic and, like, is that fine? Is that okay? Realistically, I don't think that really matters. What matters is, how are people actually going to feel in the moment, right? So it's like, if you actively are going to an event and there's like prize money, or there's something to be won, there's a prize, there's points to be won, there's something. Realistically, you should play whatever you think is going to win you the tournament, right? That's just a fact, right? I'm not going to judge you if you show up to a tournament and the tournament has, let's say, I don't know, 20 quid, $20 for winning, right? 20 euros, whatever country you're in. And you want that 20 euros. And you're using this as, or again, you're using this as practice for a big event, or you're playing in a war, or whatever you're doing. If winning matters, you should be playing the best deck in the room. No matter what that is, no matter how scummy that is, no matter how annoying that is. And I'm not going to judge you because you're playing to win. I think that is absolutely fair. Do whatever you want, right? Do exactly what you want. The issue, I think, comes when, like, you're playing in, like, a casual environment or, like, a friendly environment, and then someone gets defensive because they've brought, like, Floodgate Turbo to, like, the fun casual area. And it's like, bruh, what are you doing here? Why have you done this? Surely you knew people weren't going to be happy. Like, surely you must have known. I look down on TCG players, not Rush players. Fair, Hans, fair. I mean, again, I'm not going to judge you for that. And I mean, hardcore Floodgate FTK fans, and not being aware that many dislikes. It's probably Shirt and Tachyon all over again with these two times. Tomatoes exactly said it right, although realistically nobody plays stun in tourneys. It's just best of one formats, like many Yu-Gi-Oh! Online games. I dislike the easy decks, which leave a ton of space for non-engine. It started with Sylvans a long time ago. A deck can be easy to play as long as it's capped for how strong it should be allowed to be. Yes, I also think, so for Rush, again, we're kind of jumping around a bit, but for Rush, for me, I don't like it when the best deck in the game is the most accessible deck. And that might sound a bit weird, but as a player that plays on the ladder and wants an enjoyable ladder experience, when Gaia gets given to everyone for free, Gaia is relatively easy to play, and is the best deck in the game by a mile, I feel like you've just, like, you've incentivized the ladder to just be one deck. And unfortunately, it's not fun to play the exact same opponents or the exact same deck every single time you queue up on ladder. It's just not. It's just not. Which is why I'm a big proponent for, like, make decks easy to play, make them accessible, that's all fine. Don't then also make them the best deck in the game. Don't do that. Make it the second best deck in the game, or the third, or the fourth. Ideally somewhere in there. Like, third to fourth, in my opinion, is like the perfect spot for that kind of deck, where you're going to see it a lot because it's accessible, it's easy to play, everyone's got it, and it's actually pretty decent. But it's not just going to be the only deck. Like, playing on ladder in Gaia format was actually painful. It was just like, are we just going to find another Gaia deck? Oh, look, it's another Gaia deck. Could it be another Gaia deck? It's like, just don't do this. But right now, spellcasters are in a similar spot, where spellcasters are a lot of ladder. I don't want to, like, defend it. Spellcasters are a lot of ladder. But spellcasters don't feel like the only deck you're playing against, and they don't feel like the strongest deck in the game. So because of that, it feels better, right? What if my pet deck is a Floodgate FTK deck? I mean, that says a lot about you as a person. That's the issue, right? If your main deck is Floodgate FTK, then realistically, people probably aren't going to want to be your friend. That might be the harsh reality, but unfortunately, that is probably how it's going to go. Now, tell it to him. Tomato screw Gaia. Most pet decks barely even make negate. Yeah, my pet deck doesn't make negates either. Although, Dinosaurs is sort of my pet deck now, and that definitely does make negates, so... Poor God, Gaia. Rush Sidra was a good example of an easy, accessible deck which also had a cap on how strong it could be, regardless of pilot. Yes, Cyber Dragon, again, for that, like, first week when people were convinced it was, like, the best deck, felt like a bit of a menace, but afterwards, it was, like, the second, maybe third, maybe fourth best deck, and it kind of made ladder feel nice because you'd still play against a lot of Cyber Dragons, but you'd also have a lot of diversity because people were playing the other decks that were better than Cyber Dragon. But it actually felt quite good. Yeah, just make it cargoable. I hated Sidra 2 because it made ranked experience very stale. The current meta is way better rush-wise. Yeah, I think so as well, personally. It's just the same right now, but spellcasters... to an extent, but when Gaia was meta, I felt like it was 99% Gaia, 1% other. Now, it feels like it's like 60% spellcasters, 40% other. And that's probably the best you're ever going to get it. Realistically, a lot of free-to-play players or speed players just being tourists to come and get their rewards, they're going to play whatever's easy to get hold of, right? So that's always going to be the case. It's just, can we get that percentage closer to 50%, or is it closer to 100%? And I think just getting it closer to 50% is always better. Now, hey, come on, there were some dragons too. Yeah, that's the 1%. My pet decks are Shark and Speedroids. I'm in shambles. Oh no. Oh no. What have we done? What are we going to do? Yeah, but beating it is much more manageable than Sidra, and they aren't as common. I've seen good variety. Yeah, I kind of feel the same. I guess what we'll do, because we've been yapping for a long time, we kind of want to actually just play some games. I think we're actually going to play some Rush. I think that's probably what we're going to do. We do usually do that here. Not much, but we do usually do that. When do you think the next Rush Toolbox will come out? I kind of want to build an Exosister. I would expect probably somewhere between a month and 2 months. It'll probably be before Worlds, I would assume. Like, if we go and look at product release dates, we can see that the usual time between boxes is like 52 seems to be on like the higher end. Like 57 was the gap for the September update. This was the anomaly, right? Don't look at Genesis Maximum. That was the dark time. But for the most part, it's between 18 and 57 days, right? So between like 3 weeks to 6 weeks. 6 weeks, 8 weeks. So somewhere between that, right? Like 6 weeks seems like a good estimate, but you never truly know. Spellcaster skill feels worse than Gaia and Dragiastar. I mean, it's worse than Gaia, but the Gaia skill was busted, right? It literally just was like, yeah, you're just going to OTK half your games, right? When was the Super Mini after the Mini? When was the Super Mini after the Mini? You talking about this one? Or this one? Because there were 2 times that happened. One was 18 days, one was 40 days. There should be a Rush character in June, but hey, it's Konami. Yeah, we never really know. Alright, but we're going to play. We're going to play the 18 days one. Let's just make sure our replays are empty. What is this? Rushel Man. Right, I'm just going to check this is quick, make sure I don't need it. I think this is probably... This is probably RDC. I just want to make sure I don't need this replay for something. Yes, okay, this is RDC because I was using this mat and sleeves. So this is... This was when we had a shadow game. Right, I think Hikari was casting and we had a shadow game. So I recorded the game in case there was like a problem. I mean, this is a really bad start. Did I lose this game? I might lose this game. No, I must have won this game, right? But we've already lost 2,100 life points. Activate the skill, Dark Prophet, put 3 cards back, add back the fusion. Summon out Glob, activate fusion into Proto. Proto adds back, summons. Summon Globule, put 3 cards back to the top. Go into Requiem, go into Chrysaor, and then just attack in for game. Okay, we don't need this replay. We do not need this replay. We're all good. We're all good. We need that again. Worse, as in more toxic. I don't think so. I'm going to push back on that, Alpaca. I don't think it is more toxic. The Gaia skill, basically, a lot of the time, was just you win the game. And the Dragon skill was very frustrating to play against because it forced you to like play it a certain way that was not enjoyable. So I think, in terms of toxicity, I would say both of those skills are worse than the Spellcaster skill. Alright, let's hop in. Let's see what we get. Let's see what we can do. We're going to see if we can get some games. Get some games going. We're going to be playing some Dragonic. We'll see if... We're also playing a weird build. This is the other issue. This is also why I didn't want to cog. Because the cog queue generally takes longer than the rank up queue. Okay. Now, I would also want to preface, I don't think we're going to win many games. Because we are playing a meme deck. And we're probably going to be playing against the 3 meta decks the whole time. Also, don't worry about the fact that we have a Volcano Attack Dragon. That's not important. Don't worry about it. When can we use our skill? We haven't actually used this yet. Turn 2 onwards. So it's just any time on turn 2 onwards. Okay. I think we're probably going to leave this in hand. Let's go for this and see what happens. We might get punished here. We might get punished, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't think Gaia before the last nerf will be broken in this meta. I think Light Galaxy is better than Gaia before the nerf. I would make the argument that Gaia is more consistent, because the Gaia skill basically lets you search 2 cards, which is like really, really good. Why is there a level 7 vanilla? I already said not to ask questions about that. Why are you asking questions about that? It's like you weren't listening at all. Okay, goes into Fuse Eve. I mean, we're gonna use our one pulse on this Fuse Eve. There's no way we don't. Be gone. Activates order. That is completely fine. I do not mind if you order her. Okay, Galactica Oblivion Pass. Hey, we got to keep all of our cool cards. That's neat. Let's see what we draw. Okay, so we can activate Resonance, reduce the attack of this, send a card to the graveyard. We'll get this in the bin. And we create this. So now we have less chance to draw into it, so we'll go Pot of Greed. This is like a really weird hand. I need like more bosses, ironically. Okay, if I summon this, it actually creates an issue for us. I can add that back to my hand, which is fine. So I just want to like summon guys and then start tributing stuff off, right? So you're a 4. I want to summon tribute 2, summon, use the effect, do that. That's probably going to be the line. So we'll flip this. We'll summon out Double Twin. I can't summon you because you're a 3. It has to be a flip or a flap. We'll go flap. Activate Triad Drago for the draw. That hasn't really changed anything. Then I'll go ahead and tribute 1, tribute 2. Summon this. I'll go Scout. Activate Scout. I guess we're adding Demolisher here. So I could theoretically tribute 2. Summon out Demolisher, summon out the guy in defense, and then nothing really happens with that. So I guess we activate Double Twin. And what's the alternative? I just summon out a Twin Dragon. Should I face it level 8 or lower once your opponent's field? Then you can summon Dragon Slayer has to be in defense position no matter what, right? I mean, is this just lethal? How much damage is this? If I just pop that. That's what, 25 plus 30, 23. That's 48. Okay. So okay, Double Twin effect. We'll put back 1, 2, 3. Tribute over. Summon this. Activate the effect. Discard this. Get rid of this. Swing in for 25. Swing in for 23. Swing in for 13. Alright. You know, just open your legend and it's fine. It's a shame we're in ads. It's a shame we are in ads. But it is what it is. It is what it is. New tier 1! New tier 1! Undefeated, guys! We could just end it here. We don't need to play any more games. Undefeated, 100% win rate. 15 seconds till ads are over. We'll just wait for the ads to go away, and then we'll continue. We're in ads? I mean, some people are in ads. Not everyone, but some people. But welcome back, anyone that got bombarded with ads. We did manage to get a win there. We should catch up with chat as well real quick. Hi, Tomato. Hello, Dark Tuna. Welcome, welcome. Hey, we'll take some stamp wins as well. We still have a draw. How's the game going? The game went quite well. We only played one so far. You still have a chance. I mean, we always had a chance. Bro had Oblivion Pass, right? Why do you have the entire deck in your hand? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Alright, we'll jump into another game. We'll jump into another game. Is that Cyclone Valley in the chat? Hello, hello, my friend. We should give you a shout out, I think. We don't give shout outs often, but when we do, they're to Cyclone Valley. Bam! There we go. Right, let's see who our next opponent's going to be. It's Kai from the United Kingdom. Playing Luke. Oh boy, is this going to be a mirror? I don't even the mirror. I don't even. We're both on a 2-win streak. No. The issue here is his deck is really good at popping back row. Which is a little bit worrying, but I think we'd still just do this, and then we just see what he does. Because there's a chance that he doesn't rip all of our back row to pieces. We'll see what he does. We'll see what he does. There might be a world in which setting Pot of Greed was just always the wrong decision here, but... I mean, he might just be on Dragon Fusion. He opens Pog. Summons out the Fire Dragon. Activates Inferno. He does hit our Pog. Which, like, obviously it's not great, but we do have our other back row. If we keep the other back row, we're in a really good spot. Okay. Gets the whole hand empty. And we've got to keep Flip Dragon. I don't know how I really feel about that. Oh, we did not want Dragonic Slayer in that. Oh, that feels really bad. We only play 2, so having 2 of them here is really bad for us. I mean, I could wipe the board. Bring that back. If I do that, I get a card to hand anyway. I mean, getting a scout to hand is probably fine here, right? Right, we're going to reduce the attack of this. I guess we're sending one from hand, as much as I don't want to. So summon, we can get that back, use that. Doesn't really go anywhere is the issue. I don't even know if using the back row is correct or not here, to be honest. I mean, getting an extra guy out is probably worth... I could just summon, get that back to hand. Okay, we're going to do this then. We'll go Scout. Activate Scout. Now, I guess we take Demolisher here. Then I'm going to flip this. It's only if he has a level 7 or high, so this is useless to me anyway. So we'll go Tribute, Tribute, summon this out, activate the effect. We'll send, I don't know, this to the graveyard. Destroy this. We can bring out Slayer. Activate Slayer. Hit one of these. Now the question is, do we bother tributing to get this out? I mean, I can pop that. I would not have that in defense mode, but like this is going to be stuck in my hand either way, right? I think we probably don't. We're just going to battle. Okay, so his other back row is live. I think we'll just kill this. Trying to keep him off of an extra draw is probably worth it. The issue here is we have a ton of attack points on our board. So, assuming he is just playing Fusion, he now just gets to do Fusion things. Which is very boring. Yeah, it's very boring. Man, I hate this deck so much. Can we all just, like, agree as a community to stop playing dragons? I'll tell you what, let's just go next. I don't even want to finish a game against Dragon Fusion because it's just so cringe. I'm so over Dragon Fusion. I'm actually just so over Dragon Fusion. I don't want to sit here and, like, play around the skill by just never doing anything. I think it is the most boring shit in the entire world. So if we do come up against the Dragon Fusion, we are just going to just get out of there as soon as possible. Alright. We're against Spellcasters this time. Let's see what Spellcasters have got for us. We've gone first every single game as well, which, like, kind of a good thing. I guess we're doing this. I could have emptied the whole hand, but, like, I kind of want to use the Dragonic Scout. Master Excel Road. Okay. It reveals the Witch. So has he got the strange Witch in hand is the question. If he sends Witch to the graveyard, that's where we're like, oh, okay, that's fine. We don't mind that at all. Summons out Roadstar. And gets Tribute for Witch. Witch effect. Discard probably another Spell Trap. Oh no, okay. What's the next part of the plan? Oh, okay. We are just going to use the normal familiar to go into this. So this is a little bit spooky. Because he's got, what, 2 elements at the moment? If he gets a good mill, and he flips up our middle card. Okay. I mean, we're not dead, but we are taking a lot of damage here. Okay, that was probably the best result for that. But we are now down to only 1,500, so we'll have to see if we can actually survive this or not. I mean, Pot of Greed is nice. Is it going to be enough? That's also quite nice. Okay, we'll go Resonance. We'll reduce this. We'll send this to the grave and create a new card. I mean, Phoenix Dragon doesn't really do anything for us, right? Like, there's no world in which that... I mean, has to be a 5 or higher, so it could only get that back, so probably not. So here, we'll go Pressure. So it's always you. Is it just these two? So those are both 3s, which is the most annoying level in the world. Because if it was 4, it would be perfect. But they are not 4s, so we don't get to take advantage. So I guess we'll just summon out Phoenix Dragon. Then we'll summon out Scout. Activate Scout effect. We'll add back Slayer. So I mean, I could add that back. Summon. Rebuke both. It's probably the best play we've got. So we'll go Scout. Activate Scout. Fortunate. If we activate the effect, we can get that back to our hand, which is not really any different. So we just go 1, we go 2, summon this, activate Secret Order, bring back Volcano Attack Dragon, go to battle, go get him, Volcano Attack Dragon. Alright. Slayer better than Pyro? I mean, quite possibly. I mean, we're what? We're 2 and 1, so we have a 66% win rate currently. We'll have to see if we can keep this going or not, or if this was just like beginner's luck. We'll just have to avoid all of the Dragon Fusion players because I hate them. Change tier list. I will do no such thing. We will change the tier list at the end of next week. Okay. We've got the Pixelated Heart. It's the Infi Heart special. We're against another Light Galaxy. 7 win streak. Alright. This might be a good Light Galaxy player. Why are we going first again? I mean, surely he just won't OTK us, right? Right, guys? Right? He just won't do it. We are every single game we set 4 pass. Every single game so far. Surely he just won't have it. We just have to will it into existence. He just doesn't have it. See? It's just that easy. So we can't use our skill because he hasn't got any face-up monsters. That's like a little bit annoying. Not the end of the world. So we'll go Pog. The issue is, without... I mean, we have to basically rely on Flapdragon to do much of anything here. That's not like the end of the world. Like, Flapdragon's still fine. The question is, how do we want to end this? We can only use Flapdragon once. There's no way to get another one. Triad Drago's effect isn't live either. So it's what? Summon Flap, discard. Go into just board that does some damage. The issue is all of our guys have 0 defense. You can target yourself. Oh, that's good to know. So if I flip up Triad. This doesn't really change anything, but it will get a card out of my deck. So I don't want to draw into this. We have so many cards, we're probably just going to, like, summon guys, right? Right, we'll summon out Scout now. We'll just activate Scout and see what happens. We'll grab back Slayer here. Then we'll probably just normal summon the Slayer. And we'll see if he has anything. Activate Slayer. We'll hit this. We'll go Flapdragon. Activate Flap. I don't really need this in my hand, but then again, we're going to summon out 3 bosses anyway, so there's no reason to not. So I need this, I need this. Ironically, I guess Phoenix Dragon goes. Right, this one. It could be worse. Tribute both to summon this. We'll go Double Twin. Activate Double Twin. Put back 1, 2, 3. Oh, we'll go 1, 2, 3. Tribute to summon this. No reason to not do this. Other than maybe keeping that in hand would have been nice, but... Alright, so this gets absolutely bodied by Meteor Charge, right? Absolutely bodied by Meteor Charge. But we did get the hand empty. We have got a lot of attack points on the board. He also has to answer this, because otherwise we can use Slayer to, like, pop back row, right? Like, if he just sets a bunch of cards... I mean, we don't have room for a Flap anymore, so if he does set a bunch of cards, that would probably be mildly annoying. Meteor Charge is not real? Listen, we can't play around Meteor Charge, Hikari. We don't have the capability. We just have to just pray. Right, Klein comes down. Fusion draw. Come on, Dragonics, we can do this. I love how, like, these cards look almost nothing alike. Like, they've got, like, similar color scheme, but, like, the original Dragonic Slayer is, like, really long neck. And, like, an axe. And then this guy's just got, like, a sword and, like, a regular size dragon neck. So he used the skill. He sent 2 copies of Galactica Oblivion. He's got the Klein to get him a Galactica Oblivion back, and he's used Pot of Greed to get an extra +1. So bro has had, like, the hand of hands. He should be able to just murder us here, right? Surely. He's got every single thing he needs. Chad Demolisher and the Virgin Slayer. I mean, that's kind of how it feels, right? But I think we should be dead. Right? We should just be dead here. Like, I feel like we have to be very lucky to not be dead. Bro has plussed, like, 8 cards this turn. And he's playing the best deck in the room. Demolisher is mogging? I mean, I'll take your word for it. Wait, is this it? No, this isn't it. This isn't it. You hate Eternal? What's wrong with Eternal? I don't know. I don't dislike Eternal. Okay, here's the meteor charge. So we're losing 2 guys. We're losing a chunk of life, but we're not like... We're not super dead here. Alright, if we activate that, discard 1, 2, 3. Bring back a guy, summon that, use that, get back 25. And that's just lethal, right? Straight up. I don't even have to, like, do any more thinking than that. Is this does this have a requirement? No, it's just... It's literally just you get the card back. You don't have to mill in something specific or anything. So I should just be able to go Dragonic Pressure. 1, 2, 3. Then I can just bring back Double Twin. Summon Scout. Activate Scout. I'll take back Demolisher. Activate Double Twin. Put 3 of my 4 Scouts back into my deck. Tribute Double Twin. And I know this is spinning plates, but we are also going to use Secret Order. Booyah! I mean, it's lethal even without the effect. I mean, it is, but I want to still play through all of my lines to make sure I understand how the deck works, right? So, like, even without Secret Order, I just want to make sure I fully get how all the cards work. Slayer better than Pyro? Yeah, but we haven't played against the Pyro yet. What if we played against it? We beat 7 win streak. LG, let's go. I know, this deck's insane. I don't know why everyone says this deck's bad. Like, it's bonkers. It's tier 1 for sure. Also, we didn't save the replay. That's a little bit annoying, actually, because that means we now have... I suppose 2's fine. We don't really want any more Light Galaxy replays. We want to play against the Dark Galaxy. Even if we get absolutely clapped, I would like to play against the Dark Galaxy. I think they're probably going to be the rarest thing we're going to see on the ladder. Chrome. From the UK. The USA. That's... It's another Udius Valgia! This deck is tier 3. I mean, potentially. It hasn't done anything in a tournament yet. Like, literally not even a top 8 finish. So, I mean, that's pretty rough. Secret tier 0 deck. One, 2. Activates the fusion. Go into Galactica Fuse Eve. Then we're going to what? Put it on top? Or are we going to put it on the bottom? What kind of draw are we looking for? On the top. So he's got a fusion in hand. Now bring back a normal monster. Summons out Bright Sentinel. Sets 1. That's a fusion set. Okay. So if we... I mean, the first thing we do is activate this, right? I don't know that. So we could activate, send 1, 2, 3. Then use his effect, put him back in the hand. The issue is we don't have anything good to, like... I guess it's just that. I mean, I guess we're just going to do it, right? If nothing else, it'll be really fun to see where it goes. We'll go Pressure. I think it's got to be all 3 of these, right? Bring back Treasure Dragon. It's only if you have 4 or more monsters in the graveyard! That barely comes up. That barely comes up, but it's fun that we now know that. Right, Scout, add a card to hand. I would love to have this Demolisher back in my hand. And it's not the second it's summoned! I'm learning so much about this card right now. No matter what, we're not going to have lethal. So it comes down to what kind of board do we want to make? If we just go for maximum damage, or do we want to pop the fusion? Popping fusion is probably makes sense. But we could also just put them down to 100 and not pop the fusion. I think we're going to do this. We're going to summon. We're going to tribute 1, tribute 2, summon this. We're going to summon Scout. We're going to activate Scout. So it's 300 less damage, and it's like a body off the board. But I do value him just not having the extra card. Now, the really bad part is, with only 2 monsters, if he does have charge, he'll change one of these to defense, pierce over, attack over, and then get a direct attack as well. That is this kind of scary bit. But if I had 2 13s, he'd be able to attack over them anyway, right? Alright, Klein. Adds back a normie. He had 1 card stuck in hand, so that's probably a tribute monster, right? It's almost certainly a tribute monster. Activates Galactica Fusion Draw. Discards the Plora. That might have been the card that was stuck in hand. Because if he had a Oblivion, he would have discarded it, right? I don't think we need that replay. How? We've just defeated 3 Light Galaxy players, just like straight up. I mean, to be fair, I guess they're all bricking. But again, that's the meta, right? The meta is just don't brick the game. So let's see if we can keep this going. Again, we're looking for Zuijo. We want to play against Zuijo. That's our goal. If we can find a Zuijo. That's not Zuijo. That's kind of like the opposite of Zuijo. Or I guess it's Zuijo adjacent, depending on how you look at it. So 6 win streak Light Galaxy. Can we continue our We're going first again. We just will not stop going first. I mean, we're definitely keeping you. I mean, this into this seems like quite a nice little combo. I don't like giving up the Phoenix Dragon, but like having these 2 together, I think, is the best chance of setting up a play for next turn. Let's see what our Light Galaxy opponent has for us. He's setting monsters. Sets 5 cards, passes it back. 3 back rows, a little spooky. Ah, that's a Slayer. So, we can flip up, flip dragon. We'll go ahead and use our skill. I'm going to go ahead and send this Slayer to the bin. We'll grab this to hand. Now, from here, we'll go ahead and tribute 1, tribute 2. Summon out the big guy. Then, I think here we probably go straight for the Scout. Oh, we don't need to do the Scout right now, right? Like, we could just go Dragon. Flip 1 up. Doesn't seem too bad. We'd have to discard Volcano Attack, but that should be fine. The issue is we then have to do a double tribute, which we can't do. We'd have to use that. Flip, use that, send... What, that? And then it comes down to, like, how are our mills. Alright, so instead, we'll do Scout for now. We'll go ahead and activate Scout. Here, I'll grab back Slayer. Activate Dragonic Slayer. And go ahead and pop one of these. So I could just tribute both, summon this, and then go for that play again. I mean, that's not bad. Right, we'll tribute 2, summon this. Summon out Scout. Activate Scout. I think here we get back the Demolisher. I think having Demolisher is probably going to be more valuable. Then we can go Slayer, pop another back row. Then I can flip this, activate Phoenix Dragon. We'll grab this back. Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Activate Slayer. Pop this. Now, I could summon this, tribute both to summon this. I mean, maybe that would have been the play. Maybe that would have been better. I think I just want as much attack points on the board here as possible. Oh, it doesn't matter. If I summon, get rid of that, then tribute both of these for that, I have less attack on the board. But I get to attack over that for damage, and then I get in for more damage. Well, I wouldn't get in for more damage, because I'd only have 2 monsters on the field. Alright, well, we're just going to do the double twin play then. We'll just activate double twin. I think I could have played this better, but again, this is still just like the... We're still just learning the lines right now. I think I needed to sneak the flip dragon in, or the flap dragon, a little bit earlier. That would have been like the ideal. But we didn't, and because of that we've missed out on a little bit of damage. But this is still pretty good. We've ripped apart all of his back row, so he has no resources going into the next turn. Let's see what he's got. And another ad break. Typical. Activates Fusion Draw. Sends 2 to the graveyard. Draws 2. Creates a Secret Order. That's a little bit scary. Summons Klein, because they always have Klein as well. Always have it. Klein gets back Lilac. So this is probably going to be a Eternal play. How big can Eternal get here, though? Oh, mind you, if it's Meteor Charge plus Eternal. This could be very spooky. Tributes 2 for Plora. Activates Plora. Mills 2, including Trileo. So now we can add back Fusion, which he sent there with the skill, and, I don't know, a normal monster. He has just got rid of Lilac, so it could just be Lilac. I can't help but feel there must be an Eternal Galactic Oblivion play coming in. The thing is, we can't play around it, we just have to kind of plow through and hope. We've lost 1 pressure. We do have the Volcano Attack Dragon in Graveyard already. Here's what? 6 cards in hand, 1 boss on the field. His hand consists of a Lilac, a Fusion, and a Secret Order. 3 mystery cards. So with what he has, we know he can just make an Eternal, like straight up. But Eternal on its own would hurt, but wouldn't just like straight up kill us. But if he can go like Eternal plus another Order plus like Meteor Charge, we are probably just dead through anything. Right, there's Lilac. Activates Fusion. Okay, so here comes the Eternal. We're really hoping he doesn't have Meteor Charge. If he doesn't have Meteor Charge, I'm actually not feeling that bad. Ideally as well if he doesn't have another Secret Order, but I think that's asking a bit too much. How many monsters is he going to mill with this? Right, he milled 2 monsters. Up to 47. Oh, the Secret Order. Right, just do not have Meteor Charge as well. Do not tell me you opened a custom hand. Just not Meteor Charge. Anything but Meteor Charge is fine. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. We out here living. And you're leaving me with Demolisher. That's an interesting choice. Okay, we don't have any way to out this. We can change his guide to defense and reduce his attack and defense is probably the best we're going to get. So we'll go Demolisher effect. I think it's always Flap Dragon that we're sending here. We can destroy this. We can bring back Slayer. So he has... Which one? Okay, Compulse is fine. That is completely fine. Why are you putting that back as well? That's really weird. I guess it doesn't really make much difference. I could use this again anyway. So I need to change it to defense position. So... Oh, but I can't. Oh, that's so annoying. I can change it to face down defense, and then it'll be stuck in face down, and then I can't reduce its defense points. Oh, that's annoying. So do I just have no way to beat this? Because my guys cap out at 25? I would need either Dragonic Pressure or Secret Order, and I don't have either of those, so I can't beat this. Oh, that sucks. I guess all I can do then is go defensive and hope he doesn't get Meteor Charge or Leica. I don't think there's anything else I can do. 2 bosses being stuck in my hand is also probably not for the best. I can't also try and like cheese a win out of this either. Put that back in the hand doesn't do anything. Okay, I think all I can do... I mean, even keeping this doesn't really do much for me here. You've made space for Leica? I mean, there's nothing I can do about that, right? Not realistically. Alright, I think we tribute set. And set this, just to increase the chances that I get a playable hand. Alright. Oh, it kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I think we're probably just dead here, because if he just gets any form of piercing, we're just dead. There's nothing we can do about it. Ugh, I don't need you to get Pot of Greed as well, brother. Hello, Penguin. Welcome, welcome on in, my friend. Galactic Fusion Draw. I think he's just digging for piercing. Like, there's no other reason to do anything except look for Meteor Charge and Leica. This deck can't beat Eternal. Yeah, I definitely can. I 100% can beat it. I just need to draw the correct combination of cards. Adds back Fusion. Adds back Eternal. Okay, that's fine. It's the piercing stuff I need to not deal with. Or not lose to. Hey, hello, JD Scrub. Goes into Plasma. If bro is spinning plates and he's just already got it. Yeah, he's already got it. Alright, we outie. We outie. So he had that from the get-go. He had lethal from the very start and was spinning plates. He absolutely... You mean TSA? No, we play Dragonic... Resonance? What's the spell card called? And also we could flip it into defense position with Flip Dragon and then Secret Order over it. So we had 2 different ways to get over it. It's Zuijo! Finally! Alright. This hope, as long as he doesn't like absolutely brick, this is probably going to be a keeper. This is probably going to be a keeper. Okay. I mean, this is not a great hand. His guy's probably got, what, 2,000 defense? I mean, I could just flip it up. It's a bit weird, but it gets the job done. So he has Compulse as well, which makes this even weirder for us. Alright, we'll go flat. We'll go flat. I discard flip. Yeah. Come on back. Compulse me. Alright, then, I guess sure, we'll do this. We'll do this. So we'll reduce the attack of this. We'll send Slayer. Then I'll summon Scout. There's no reason for him to do anything here. Activate Scout. We'll add Slayer back. Right. Oh, that's the wrong one. That is very much the wrong one. So this is where he should put it back in our hand, right? There's no reason for this not to be the time where he puts it back in our hand. Oh, it's... Oh, so he has both? Because he had no... Oh, no, because it's a 0 attack, so he could have done it at any point. Okay. I mean, that's fine. We'll go Slayer, pop this. So now the question is, do we tribute over it again? I think we go Triad Drago. Activate Triad Drago. That's not a great draw. So now is, what do we tribute over? If I tribute over that, I can get it back to hand. Guaranteed. So I think that's probably going to be the play. Tribute 2 to summon. Summon out Scout. Activate Scout. Alright, we get back the Demolisher then. We'll tribute both of these. Summon out the Demolisher. Activate Demolisher. Send this to the grave. I mean, we just always pop in the biggest one, right? And then there's no reason not to summon this out, so we'll just get that. And we can swing over this for 7 and get in for 25. And again, we do just kind of die to a lot of stuff still, but like, this seems alright. This seems alright. The Dark Hole for Dragons? Yeah. Dark Hole for Dragons. Voidvelk Fusion Draw. This one. Dragonic Pressure. That's the one. I always get, like, the pressure part mixed up, because there's so many, like, cards that are Dragonic in their name. So he discarded Requiem. Sent 3 cards to the graveyard, including Fusion. Which means Prophet is now online if he has Prophet access. So, like, Corridor gets him it. Otherwise, it basically has to be hard drawing. If he doesn't have Prophet, he's not going to be doing a lot. He's probably going to be, like, I don't know, Chrysaor, beat over. Maybe a Requiem on top. Glob. Okay. Excuse me, I was listening to that. Alright, so Glob shuffles 3 back, including Requiem. So he's probably not playing Corridor since he's putting all of that stuff back in. So this is now double tribute for, is it Cry? It is Cry. So as long as he doesn't absolutely sack us with the mills, we're probably... Alright, he's got 2 attacks. That's a nice easy 1-2, right? Nice easy 1-2. If he has a Requiem, he can clear our whole board very easily. If he doesn't mind giving up his Chrysaor, which I wouldn't do if I was him, he also potentially could just clear our board very easily just by crashing. What's up, Tomato? How's Dragonic feel? Hello, CZ. Dragonic actually feels really good, but I think that's because we're not getting high rolled. Like, theoretically, all of the new decks can high roll you super easily, and this deck just isn't. Okay, so bro did just have the Prophet as well. So now it's going to be an RNG game. It's going to be, does he get 3 attacks with Chrysaor? That's pretty much what this game has now come down to. If he gets 3 attacks, he probably summons something else from hand, attacks over the 0, swings over, and then gets twice in direct. And that'd be what, 500 plus 200? I mean, we wouldn't be dead, even if he gets triple attack, right? He gets double attack. You got double attack. Double attack. Because if it was triple attack, he attacks over for 200, attacks over for 500, 2 direct attacks. But then we're still just alive. I only have 2 profit too. Crazy. Actually, sorry, Tom, but I don't have to root for Dark Galaxy because I couldn't cog with Spellcaster. But the moment I switched Dark Galaxy, I got 5 wins in a row. I mean, Dark Galaxy is a cool deck. That's... Oh, yeah, that's not bad. Alright, we go... Scout. No delay. Activate Scout. I think here we just add Demolisher, right? The issue is, how do we beat this? Because once again, we don't have our spells that win us... that let us attack over Theogonia. We can reduce it down to 24 or 26, but we can't actually kill it. So all we can do is just build as strong as a board as we can and go from there, which is not ideal, but it's what we have, so we just have to go with it. Okay. 2 tributes. Summon this. Activate the effect. I could double tribute over, so that's probably fine. So I'll get rid of Treasure Dragon here. We get rid of this. Oh, I can't get rid of it because of Theogonia. That's funny. I mean, I want to attack over this, so I didn't want to pop it anyway. But it means I don't get the special summon back from the grave. Do we even have 1/2 special summon? Yeah, we did. Okay, so I don't get the special summon back from the grave is the annoying part of that. I also want to pop the back row. If I'd got the special summon, I'd be feeling pretty good, but because I didn't get the special summon, that feels really bad. I don't want to use his effect, because I don't want to leave a weak monster on the field, so we're going to do it this way around. Which, like, it sucks, but it is what it is. Swing over this. We swing over this. That's kind of the best I think I could have done. Maybe there was a better line. This doesn't do anything on future turns, so it's just a vanilla. So that's something. Don't draw a Pot of Greed. I needed you to have a bad hand. Every time I need my opponent to, like... I'm just like, just don't have drawn a good hand. They always draw Pot of Greed. And I'm like, ugh. You're so dead. Yeah, we're almost certainly dead here. I mean, we could have killed him. Like, all we needed was a... pressure or a secret order, and we did just kill him there. Like, we just needed either of those cards. Our deck still has multiple copies of each. I have 7 win streaks for you to break that, Tomato. I have 7 win streaks for you to break that. I have 7 win streaks for you to break that. Don't know what that means. What does Rush Pot of Greed do? It's actually very similar to non-Rush Pot of Greed. Right, we'll let Bro kill us here. There's no point in, like, quitting out. We'll let him spin his plates, because we need a Dark Galaxy replay, so... Interrupt my streak. Sorry, I have no idea about this strange language. Plot plot twist, this is Hikari's other account and she's whooping your ass. Now, if it was Hikari, I would be absolutely destroying her. I mean, we came close. I think that... It's weird, right? A lot of the only times we're actually struggling is when we don't have the spell cards to let us actually beat monsters. That's the issue. You can put your own card with Gigantomachia. Yep. It's a really weird thing. Every time we've been staring down something we can't get over with the deck naturally, we're just not finding the spell cards that we put in to let us deal with it. It's very funny. Another Light Galaxy. We've only actually played against one spellcaster player today. It's all mostly Light Galaxy. Am I going second? Okay. Okay, a defensive monster. Another defensive monster. Things are really heating up. What would be the best draw off the top? It would have to be a monster. I mean, whatever it is, it would probably be discarded. Okay, so he's got a 2500 defender. Ooh. Does that change anything? Probably not. Get that. Mill 3, take one back. Use the skill. Do it again. See what the draw is. Either way, I can't beat that without using this. So we're using this either way, I think. Could be Ship, could be Oblivion. I think I have to play around it being Oblivion, right? It could be John Cena. I don't know. We can't play around John Cena, though. Like, think about it logically. We can't physically do that. So we'll go 1, 2, 3. It was boat. Okay. We'll go Demolisher Resonance. Target this. Send Slayer to the bin. Create a card. Summon out Scout. Activate Scout. Oh, we just sent a whole bunch of cards we didn't want in the graveyard That's fine. I guess we have to take a Slayer. We'll go Scout. Activate Scout. Do I want another monster in hand? I think I'm going to click yes, even though I'm not convinced this is the correct play. Now we can use Treasure Dragon. Okay. Then we'll go ahead and Tribute 2. Activate Slayer. We'll get rid of this. So, I mean, I could make the only issue is, because you have to pop a level 8 monster, his effect isn't live. So I can't just, like, get an extra guy out. So the players set this or Tribute 2. I think we'll go for the Tribute play. Getting the hand empty feels nice. Like, we have to high roll at some point if we want to win. So we'll go for the 48. Which is still not bad. We have milled all 3 of our pressures. That's not ideal. We don't have our Volcano in the graveyard yet either. So this might not go our way, but we'll see what happens. The issue is, if he summons Eternal, we basically need to find Volcano and Secret Order to be able to do anything. Oh, stop having Pot of Greed! I feel like every single game our opponents open Pot of Greed or they just have Pot of Greed. It's like, come on, just stop having Pot of Greed. You don't need the free plus. It can't coup without piercing. Yeah, but he's gonna have piercing, right? There's no way he doesn't have piercing. Like, Meteor Charge is glued to the hands of the, like, Galaxy players. Activates Traveler. I assume he's going to weaken Demolisher. Because, like, even if he reduces Slayer, he'd have to reduce it twice to be able to kill it with, like, a Lineac. Pot of Issue. Tributes 2. Summons that boat. So we can grab back the Oblivion if he wants it. Adds back the Fusion. Adds back the Oblivion. You play Strange Traveler. I have seen a couple of people play Strange Traveler. Someone won a tournament with Strange Traveler, right? Just trying to make sure I'm not talking out my butt. Was it a Quantum tournament? Yeah, Hans. Hans won with 2 copies in his deck. It's Galactica Oblivion! Da, 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 da. So, what? We fuse them together into Eternal. Okay, so we take 32. At the moment, we then take 20... 22? So we're alive at the moment. Never mind, he has double Meteor Charge. Was that the John Cena song? Yes, it was. I mean, we can't play around 1 Meteor, let alone 2. We don't have the ability. To be fair, though, that is a very good replay because it really shows the weakness of the deck of having 0 defense monsters. So I think we keep that one anyway. I played Traveler because only 1 Leica. Cena Bros. Why he turned heel. What is Are you talking about because of shit, what was it? What was it? WrestleMania? You talking about WrestleMania? Was he a heel in Wrestle? Because I watched some of WrestleMania, but I didn't watch all of it. Like, I got to watch bits of it on day 1. I don't think I watched any of day 2. I play 3 Leica only because he's a pretty boy. Isn't Leica a girl? I mean, this could be anything. This could be a male or a female. One moment. I have to play video game. I think we keep the dragon because it has the most practical use in the next turn. A pretty girl then. He turned heel like 1 month before WrestleMania, but yeah, lol. Yeah, I didn't get to catch much of WrestleMania. I was actually at a friend's while it was going on. Anyway, back to looking at Leica. I don't know. What do we think, people? Is this a male or a female? I'm leaning towards male, you know. I don't know if gender is a concept in Alien Species. It's also a Yu-Gi-Oh card and not actually an alien, so I don't know if that also complicates things further or not. Gender, Leica. I mean, probably. Right, we've got 2 attack mode monsters. Now actually got to keep arguably one of the better cards. Okay, we will go ahead and use this. I'm actually going to reduce... I mean, we don't have a way to beat this if we don't lower it right now. We have to rely on the draw sorting us out. So I guess I actually have to do it on Extraplorer. We'll send from deck. Create this. I mean, I could also just flip this over. What does that get me? Like, not lethal. We'd have to... Yeah, we only have one boss currently. Like, there's no good reason to do that. So... I mean, I could guarantee 2 bosses. That's what, 46? I need 14. I don't think I even have 14. I have 13. So I wouldn't have lethal anyway. Okay, so we'll go Scout. That could be either. He's got one of the trap cards down. Either way, we'll force it out. I'll add Slayer. That's level 3, so I can't summon you. I will summon the mighty Flap Dragon. I will flip my Triad Drago and draw another card. That's an amusing draw. We'll tribute 1. Tribute 2. So this should force out the back row. That's fine, I think. I think that's probably fine. We can go... just Treasure Dragon. We'll just go ahead and tribute both, I think. I don't think there's any reason to, like, sit on it. Summon this. I mean, either way, we're just milling randomly, so I guess we'll go for the Dragonic Scout here. We got unlucky there, but that's fine. We'll go Double Twin. Activate Double Twin. We'll put back 1, 2, 3. Treat as 2 tributes. It's unfortunately, like, not the best it could have been, but, like, this isn't awful, right? This isn't awful. We've actually got damage down now. It's like we're close. If we had access to a... what's the other one called? The Dragonic Demolisher? We would have just won there. Like, we had lethal if we just had that. We also had lethal... I mean, we would have needed 2 cards, right? Volcano and... Order. But if we had both, that also could have been lethal. Unfortunately, we need too many. We need too many cards! Yugi Grandpa voice. Back in my day, you had to activate piercing so your monster can pierce. Nah, you're crazy, old man. The funny thing is, so, alright, Dragonic has a lot of problems, right? It doesn't easily out big guys. The deck has a lot of issues, realistically. But the biggest, like, insult is that this deck is entirely 0 defense archetype that they've released right alongside 2 archetypes that will change your monsters to defense and then pierce over you. That is, like, the biggest piss take of all time. It's just like, bro, why? We were already in, like, a bad way, and you've released us at, like, the most frustrating time you possibly could. Okay, adds back 2 cards, summons out the Lilac. Are we going to go for Plasma here? We are going for Plasma. Is there a reason to go for Plasma here? What's the rest of the hand that we want to go for Plasma? Because I almost think just having Lilac as a body, unless it's like double monster, and therefore we just didn't want to have too many monsters. This is really weird. Why wouldn't you just not fuse? Go for the second body, tribute out. No, we can flip him face down. Tribute 2. Summon both. Attack over for 23. Attack directly for 23. That would be 23 plus... Only 7. So we only have 3,000 damage. That's a shame. But I mean, it is what it is, right? We don't really get a say. Oh, we can do an extra 400. So we can do 3,400. Are you kidding? Are you taunting me? I mean, it is what it is, right? We can only do what we can do. So we send this. We flip this down. Bring back flat. Tribute 1. Tribute 2. Summon. Summon double twin. Activate double twin. 1, I don't know, 2, 3. Should have made it reduce 600 instead. It's only 400, that's the issue. Behold! I reduce the attack of your Transam Linek. Swing! Swing! I can't believe we're 100 off lethal, bro. Again, if either of the last 2 turns we had Demolisher, we do just win. Like, we straight up just win on the spot. But unfortunately, we're just not the protagonist. We're just not the protagonist. There's still, like, a slim chance we can win here, but, like, it literally is, like, if he has Meteor Charge, we're cooked. And he hasn't seen any Meteor Charge yet. Yeah, I think we're just dead, right? Because he's climbing into Oblivion, and then he's just going to whack. I mean, how much does he need it to get up to, though? He needs it to get to, like, 7,300. Which is probably very doable. I think we're going to die to Oblivion, Eternal Oblivion, just big Eternal Oblivion GG. It's always like Galaxy that somehow ends up at 100 life points. Yeah, and like I said, we were so close. Like, either of the last 2 turns, if we just found any Demolisher, we do just win. Dragonic Resonance, best dragon skill. The thing is, the skill's actually really nice, right? Being able to just create a free +1 that also gets you another +1, so it's like the skill's kind of a +2 once per game. Like, it's really nice. Oh, the cheeky bastard as well. Getting all of his extra deck monsters back. No! He's 100 over lethal! No! Oh, that's so bullshit! Ah! Ah! Right, we were 100 shy of lethal, and bro gets 100 over lethal. Oh, that's so sad. That's so sad. Ah! That's why you should play Combustion Crisis. Ugh, the chances are, though, that his back row were probably back row hate, right? Or Sparks. Man, if we had just found a Demolisher, just any Demolisher on either turn, we got 3 in the deck. If we just found any of them, we were fine. We were A-okay. Fuck Winter. Thanks for chiming in, Kim friend. Alright, I do think, because we have gone 10 minutes over. We were trying to end on a win, but it seems like that's not happening. So, can't run Dragius. We can run Dragius, but the issue with Dragius is it doesn't really synergize with the rest of the deck. The only real reason to play Dragius is to just be like, man, attacking twice is good, instead of Volcano. But then we lose the 1 card 3200 attack. And the whole point of running Volcano is so that you can bring it back with Secret Order after wiping the board. Because when you wipe the board, you go -4, right? Because we have to give up the 3 cards, then we give up the actual spell itself. Now, the spell, it does plus us, so it's kind of a -3, but we need to get as much value out of the remaining cards that we have to try and kill our opponent. So, logically, it does make more sense to play Volcano if we're playing it alongside Pressure, right? Imagine playing Speed in this Wind Hell Zone. I mean, yeah. But that is going to do it. That is going to do it for us today. We will be back again on Thursday with... I don't know what we're going to do on Thursday. We might try either Chrysaor with the Tearfing skill. Oh, you're on Secret Order, but no the Dragius and Dornic shit? Yeah, if we had the Dragius, we'd be playing that, because it's 200 extra attack rate. Or what we might do is we might try out Chaos Galaxy on Thursday. We're going to be doing something. We'll be doing one of those things. But we should also raid. We should raid How, because we always forget to raid. But we'll go ahead and raid. Raid How. Everyone should say hello to How. How is a Sky Striker enthusiast. I'm sure a lot of you guys are as well. But, like I say, we'll be back again on Thursday. I don't think there's anything coming up. I don't know if there's any Rush tournaments on today, but it is what it is. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye!
And Elise. Because I'm pretty certain you moved from Graveyard as well, which is absolutely going to be crazy. Hey, Tomato, how are you doing? Hope you are well. Thank you so much for the raid. How was the stream? So Umbre's going to destroy a spell or trap, which that's going to happen. Your effect. Your effect.